Round one, fight!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Tournament Fights. We are back after a 3-week hiatus. Me and Austin, we've been posting all over the channel, and I still have plenty more video to post because I took quite a bit of video, but we went on I went on an East Coast trip, and then I went up to meet Austin in person for the very first time. So that was a pretty cool story. We just started out doing this thing. Our very first thing was doing Saturday Night Live recap show because we're both big SNL fans, and then it just snowballed into everything on the channel that you see today. We finally arranged to meet up, so we went down to Universal Studios. We went all along the East Coast. We went to Disney. Austin didn't go to the Disney portion. He had to get back for work, but I met up with my brother and my sister for that. I survived a Hurricane Ian down there, so that was fun. So it's been an eventful 3 weeks, and there'll be even more videos and pictures to come, but a lot of it's already up there on the YouTube channel that you can see. But I am your host for tonight, Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and I'm excited for this one because we are jumping into the month of October with some horror episodes, some horror related episodes, and we are doing best Stephen King movies tonight. And for me, I'm excited for this because I've seen about half of them. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen all of them, but I'm here to talk about the ones that I have seen that I love, because there are some great ones on there. But then also to get some recommendations of some stuff that I'm missing out on that I need to check out. And then also we have 3 people for now. We will be having 2 or 3 more people jump on as the night goes on. But for right now, let's introduce our guest for tonight. We have we have 4 people. I just saw someone else join the green room. So cool. But we have Marc Edward Hueck. How's it going, Marc?
Greetings. Glad to be back.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. We always love having you for these horror-related episodes, especially because you just know so much about it. So yeah, we're always learning from you. So yeah, but and then we also have Mr. Matt Mageau, aka Soda. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. You?
Yeah, doing great. I'm excited for this. So and then
I'm like you. There's a bunch I haven't seen, but I'm still familiar enough with to be able to kind of talk about them. But ones I know, I enjoy.
Yeah, there's a few here that I've caught on like TV where I've seen bits and pieces here and there, So yeah, but then we also have joining us Richie Nemo Goodacre. How's it going, Richie?
What's up? Good to be here, man. I've probably seen as much as you. There's a few blind spots here and there, but it's to be fun. And that T-shirt you got on, Jordan, is great.
Yeah, it's one that I got for Halloween Horror Night. So and I wore that, so that was fun. but and then Austin might be joining us. Well, he will be joining us here in a little bit, and then we're either going to have Mr. Charlie Perez or Michael Wolfman Wyndham, whichever one shows up first, because I'm kind of waiting on either one. They're both agreed to kind of be on standby. Whoever shows up first will get the spot. So, but we'll jump into it. So, basically, how it's going to work is, if you haven't seen Tournament Fights before, it's just a tournament of 64 movies. So we threw 64 Stephen King movies, or we've got a couple of the TV miniseries on there to kind of round out the list, to kind of play a little bit like a movie. And we're just going to vote round by round until we determine a grand champion. And you do have to vote no matter what, even if you haven't seen either movie. Just make up a reason. You can vote for whichever one looks the most interesting to you. You can vote for maybe one of them you've heard it is really terrible. If you want to vote against it, maybe you like the poster for one. Maybe there's a spite vote involved. Like any of that stuff, you can vote for literally any reason that you want. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. If you give me 1 second, I will bring up our tournament graphic. Yeah, give me 1 minute, maybe. There we go. Maybe even less than that. And all other movies have been randomized. There's no seeds or anything, so it's just completely random. So I tried not to look at it as much as I could possibly do. I got a quick glance, but other than that, I am coming in pretty fresh. So and Stephen King, funny enough, he has about just enough to make a tournament like this work. So it actually works really well. So
well, I mean, going back into the 80s, I want to say the comic strip was Frank and Ernest. I haven't been able to find it. If anybody is savvy with the microfiche or the newspapers.com, help me. But there's a classic comic strip where a couple guys are walking past a bookstore and saying, "Who keeps writing all these Stephen King books, guys?"
Right. Nice. It's classic. But yeah, I'll go ahead and reveal the first matchup, and we'll start at the bottom of the ladder as always. So you'll have the first vote, Richie. So the first one up, we have the Night Flyer versus Trucks, which I know Trucks was a TV movie. I'm not sure about Night Flyer, but have you seen either one?
I've never heard of either of these movies. I'm not gonna lie. I'm intrigued by both of them.
I haven't seen them either, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, if I can provide some clarification.
Go ahead.
Night Flyer was produced as a theatrical film, but it wound up becoming an HBO premiere back when they were aggressively buying mid-range theatrical movies to debut on the network so that they could say, hey, we got it first. And Trucks is another adaptation of the same source material, Overdrive, which was previously directed by King himself. And I believe it was made for the USA Network.
Huh, okay.
Yeah. Sounds good then. So based on that, Richie, when you want to go
but both intriguing. I guess I'm more intrigued now. Maybe I'll do a double feature at some point if I can find it. I'm more intrigued by Trucks, so I'll go that route.
Yeah, sounds good. And Matt, what do you think? Have you seen either one?
No, I've never even heard of either one, but I'm going to go with the Night Flyer because I want to see, maybe how bad the movie is to get it downgraded from theatrical to HBO, if that's the case. And also there's a bat on the poster. I mean, who doesn't love bats?
Yeah, right. And Austin, he's listening while he's at work, so yeah, he said that it came on the Sci-Fi Channel a lot. So
okay. Sci-Fi, USA, same corporate parent. So
okay, yeah.
WWE,
nice.
that one.
Yeah, right. Well, Mark, which one you want to vote for here?
I have seen neither, but I'm going to go with Night Flyer. It has a legitimately great reputation, and just so we're clear, when during this period in the 90s and the noughts, HBO was actually buying, all sorts of movies, like legitimately good ones, just like what they figured, people were selling them to HBO because they thought, okay, we're only going to make so much off a theatrical run, but they're going to give us a huge chunk of money right now if we let them have it first. So that's all that
Okay.
happened with Night Flyer.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a shot. You can find it. Let's see if it's streaming anywhere.
Yeah. So you're going for Night Flyer, Mark? Is that your vote? All right. Sounds good. And yeah, I haven't seen either one either, but I think, I don't know, like Trucks kind of intrigues me. So I'll put it to a tie and I'll vote for Trucks. So that means, Richie, despite not having seen either one, you get a tiebreaker here. So
you know what? I feel like even though I am intrigued by Trucks, I think Marc really sold me on Night Flyer. So I'm going to change my vote.
Yeah. Sounds good. Nothing wrong with that. So Night Flyer it is, and moving on. So up next we have Sleepwalkers going up against a more recent one,
God.
Cell. So yeah, and Matt, you will be up first.
Okay, so I have seen Sleepwalkers. I have not seen Cell. But oh my god, Sleepwalkers is one of those movies like you have to watch to believe.
Cell's the same. We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm my vote for Sleepwalkers.
Yeah. Sounds good. Mark, what do you think here?
I've not seen Cell, but I have seen Sleepwalkers, and I have to agree that there's a lot of stuff going on that you're kind of shocked that they actually did that in a film, even in the 90s. So that's where I'm going.
Nice. And Cell, I mean, so I haven't seen either one, but Cell, I mean, seeing the cast of Sam Jackson and John Cusack there makes me kind of intrigued. But I mean, Sleepwalkers just sounds crazy, and I love a good kind of crazy off the wall horror movie, and I love the poster artwork that I found for that. So I'm gonna go with Sleepwalkers, I think. So
I believe that's a Scream Factory commission.
That's what
Okay.
I was wondering.
Nice.
It looks
Yeah.
like I've got one of the thing that kind of reminds me of that.
Oh yeah, nice. Well, Richie, what do you think?
Well, haven't seen Sleepwalkers, but Cell is terrible. It's that movie so if you want to see John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson team up a good movie, watch 1408.
Yeah, right. Which will appear on here.
This is way better movie. It's very boring and Sleepwalkers. That intrigues me, and I love that poster. So I'll go Sleepwalkers.
Yeah.
Well,
Sounds
Sleepwalkers
good,
is one of those. It's like The Room. It's just like it's a movie. It's bad, but you still have fun watching it.
Right. Nice.
Especially if you're watching with the right people.
Yeah. Sounds good. Up next, then we have Dr. Sleep going up against I think that is Marriage. I forget what the movie is. Maybe somebody knows.
Yeah.
It's called Marriage something. But I've never seen it though.
I've heard it before, but yeah.
Let me look it up. Marriage.
A Good Marriage.
Oh, it's a Good Marriage. Yeah. That's what it is. So and I believe Mark, you're up first. So what do you want to go for?
Unfortunately, I have seen neither film,
Nice
so I'm gonna throw in my lot with Dr. Sleep based solely off of reputation.
Yeah, sounds good. And I haven't seen A Good Marriage, but I've seen Dr. Sleep, and I love Dr. Sleep. Like that movie had me hooked from the very first trailer that I saw. I mean, that music and all the ties in to The Shining and everything, as it being the sequel to The Shining, and I remember that is one of my. Well, I was working at a movie theater at the time when it was released, and it was my first time at a AMC Prime theater seeing it there, and that was a pretty cool first experience, and there's some pretty crazy things, especially with Jacob Tremblay's character. That's probably one of my more favorite scenes in it. I won't spoil anything, but yeah, I gotta go with Dr. Sleep. It's really awesome, and maybe some day I'll get to A Good Marriage, but I mean, for right now, I have not seen it. So, but Richie,
I thought you were going to make an actual marriage joke. Like maybe someday I'll get to A Good Marriage because I am divorced. So
yeah, right. Yeah, I've not had one of those yet.
But yeah, no. Doctor Sleep is great. It's a shame it kind of bombed at the box office because I think more people need to see this movie. I think I think Ewan McGregor is fantastic. Rebecca Ferguson I think steals it though as Rose the Hat, and Jacob Tremblay scene is particularly memorable. Cliff Curtis is good in there. Shout out to Cliff Curtis. He's really good in there. And even Henry Thomas is he's the dude like who plays it. The bar, sort of Jack Torrance guy.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, no, it's really good. Yeah, and I haven't seen A Good Marriage. I remember seeing the thing at one of those red box things online, so I almost rented it out. But no, but I will say I wish Anthony LaPaglia was in more stuff. He's a good Australian actor who's not in a lot of stuff. But that being said, I'll go with Doctor Sleep. I think Doctor Sleep is a great film and should probably go far in front.
Yeah, I would agree. Matt, what do you think here?
I'm going with Doctor Sleep. I've never seen either of them, but I've heard of Doctor Sleep. I know of its reputation, and I love Hugh McGregor and the rest of the cast. So, I mean, that's why it gets my vote.
Yeah, if you've not seen Doctor Sleep yet, do yourself a favor and check it out. And for me, it actually played really well seeing it on a big screen. So, the biggest screen you can see it on, it actually really works really well.
That's how I feel about another movie coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. So up next, we have The Dead Zone going up against Dolores Claiborne. And I'm first this time, and I have not seen Dolores Claiborne, but the Dead Zone I just watched right before we went live. So I just barely watched it today, so for the first time. So I had a couple of movies recommended to me by Austin. He's a big horror guy, so I always trust his opinions on horror movies. And Dead Zone's great. Like I love Christopher Walken. Even seeing Martin Sheen pop up. It's a cool story about he gets in a car wreck and then he's in a coma and he develops some psychic powers. So yeah, and also just because I haven't not seen Dolores Claiborne, I gotta go Dead Zone. So, but Richie, what do you think?
Kind of for the same reasons. I haven't seen Dolores Claiborne. I've kind of heard of it. I didn't realize it was I didn't even realize it was Stephen King. I mean, that's how much I paid him. But I think Dead Zone it is good. I don't love it, but I think it's decent, and I like Christopher Walken, so I'll go Dead Zone.
Yeah, sounds good. Mark, what do you say?
What you skipped over.
Sorry, Matt. I want to skip over you.
So I haven't seen these either, but I'm going to go with Dead Zone just because one, it's got Christopher Walken in it, and B, it also spawned the series with Anthony Michael Hall. So,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, sounds good. So now, Mark, what do you say?
Now, feeling sheepish because I haven't seen either, and these are two of the Tonier directors that Stephen King material is drawn. You've got Cronenberg, a master of horror, and Taylor Hackford, great dramatist, did Everybody's All American and An Officer and a Gentleman, but got to give the edge to Cronenberg. So. Dead Zone.
Yeah, and going into this movie, I had no idea there was a Cronenberg movie, so it's great. I'm a big Cronenberg fan, so yeah. So it'll be Dead Zone. Moving on. All right. So up next we have 1408. There it is. Going up against A Return to Salem's Lot. So this is the sequel to Salem's Lot. So, which the original will show up, but we're back to Richie. So what do you want to go for?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Return to Salem's Lot, so yeah, I can't comment on that. But 1408, as I mentioned before, it's still one of the better John Cusack, Samuel Jackson team up. Yeah, I think it does a really good job at building suspense. I think John Cusack particularly puts on a very memorable, great performance. And I just want to go back to quite a bit. So, I'll go 1408.
Yeah. Matt, what do you say?
I'm going to go 1408 because I've seen it.
Sure, yeah. Sounds good. And Mark?
I'm throwing in with 1408 as well, but while I've not seen Return to Salem's Lot, I have to give shout outs to its writer, director, Larry Cohen, one of the best low to mid budget guys from the 70s who always came up with something original and fun within genre exercises. And he takes the source material and puts his own little unique spin on it. And, it's worth digging up. But yeah, 1408 because that's the one I've actually seen.
Yeah, and same with me too. I've not seen Return to Salem's Lot. I haven't even seen Salem's Lot, so I can't comment on that one either when it comes up. But 1408 is great. Like John Cusack gives a pretty memorable performance, and I love all the psychological stuff that it goes through in this room, and it triggered me enough to go read the book. So I read the book after I saw the movie. So and the book's great. So I'll vote 1408. So it'll be 1408. Moving on here. Let's see. Up next we have Misery going up against In the Tall Grass. So it'll be Matt.
Misery, hands down. Not only because I've never heard of In the Tall Grass, but
I think it's a Netflix
great cast, memorable movie, and I mean, who doesn't remember the scene with the feet?
Yeah, right. With the hammer, all that.
Which is worse than the book.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the book's pretty worse. Oh, yeah, that'll stick with you. But Mark, what do you think?
Oh, Misery. And, it's aside from having not seen In the Tall Grass, it is, part of that whole really great streak of movies that Rob Reiner had in the 80s and 90s. For a while, he was just unstoppable, and two of them are King adaptations. So they're a good blend.
I didn't know he did this.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob Reiner was on a roll for a while. One of the episodes we went through all of his filmography from the 80s and 90s, and man, he did a lot of great movies. But yeah, I think I got to go with Misery as well. I haven't seen In the Tall Grass, but I've heard it's not very good. That's just from the word of mouth. So I mean, don't judge it till you see it. So I mean, maybe I'll see it someday, but I won't. But maybe it might not be one of the ones I'm rushing out to see. But you never know. So I'll vote Misery though. But Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I only watched Misery for the first time like 6-7 months ago. And I really enjoyed it, and the sledgehammer scene, the mouth, it's just it like it gets you. But and I think Kathy Bates puts on a fantastic performance here. I am intrigued by the kind of the stage production that Bruce Willis was in before he kind of hung it up. I'm interested to see how that was. I'll definitely go Misery here. I think I've heard of In the Tall Grass. I think I've seen it on Netflix as I've been browsing, but I've never been inclined to give it a watch. But maybe I'll give it a watch at some point just to say I've watched it. But I'll definitely go Misery here. And
one of these days. Yeah, right. But one of these days, I wanted to do like a Stephen King marathon and just like watch them all. I want to see them all. Definitely before I'm dead for sure. So, but yeah, it'll be Misery. Moving on here. So, let's see. Up next, we got Stand By Me, which is Stephen King, going up against Carrie, and this is the one I think from like 97 or 90, like late 90s or something. So yeah.
It's a TV movie. Is it the TV movie?
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was
a TV movie.
I was worried. Oh boy.
Two heavy hitters, but no, it's pretty obvious which one.
Yeah. Right. It's not the original. So, but Mark, what do you think here?
Well, we just hit the other Reiner King adaptation. You got to pick that one. I will say I have not seen the TV adaptation of Carrie, but the fact that it was a backdoor pilot for a series that never materialized kind of intrigues me. I'm interested to see where a Carrie series would have gone.
Right. Yeah, same here. But yeah, I've not seen the TV series either, so I can't, or the TV movie. Yeah, but
say no in the TV series.
No, because there is no TV series. Yeah, but the TV movie. But But Stand By Me, I was a little late to it. I just saw it last year for the first time, and it's great. Like, it has a great cast of like all people who grew up to have pretty great careers, and it's a pretty great coming of age. And it damn near won, almost won our best coming of age tournament that we did a little while back, and it's a pretty unique story where they're like going through the woods to find a dead body. So, but just them kind of just like exploring and having a good time. So, so I'll vote for Stand By Me, and I'll bring Austin in here. Let's see.
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
how are you doing?
What's going on?
Hello. Two quick things. So I've agreed with most of that's gone through so far, so that's good. As I've been listening, I've seen about 75% of the list actually, because it's now playing podcasts. I'll give them a plug. Has been doing a Stephen King retrospective over the course of like 7 years, on and off. So I've actually followed along with them and done most of them. Nice. So hopefully I can add a little 2 cents. And one quick thing about Marc Hueck that was a fun coincidence and shows his consistency with our show and Beat the Geeks, a little connection. So, all right. So if anybody recalls who watched Marc on the 70s Tearjerker episode, he talked about when The Exorcist was brought up that he loves The Exorcist, but it doesn't scare him, if I recall. And he said
that's correct.
Correct. And then he recommended Suspiria for S tier. He's a big fan of Suspiria, right? Mm-hmm. So cut back to I'm watching some Beat the Geek episodes that somebody uploaded to YouTube from 2001, 20 years ago. And there's a question to the contestants about The Exorcist. And then J. Keith Van Stratton turns to Marc for just some pining about The Exorcist, and he says, and I quote, "Exorcist, great movie, but it doesn't scare me. If I want to give you a great recommendation, watch a movie called Suspiria."
Nice. There you go,
Marc.
I am nothing if not consistent.
Not consistent. So I thought that was. He says that on the Beat the Geeks thing. I go, "Oh my god, he said the same damn thing on our show. That's awesome."
I'm actually in the same boat as Marc. I like The Exorcist for what it is,
right.
But it didn't scare me, and I really enjoyed Suspiria, both of them.
Yeah, so I just thought that I had to share that next time Marc was on because I thought that was amazing. So
nice.
All right.
Well, Austin, you want to have a quick vote here? This is the TV.
Yeah, no, I was going to confirm the TV thing. I can go grab my triple feature Carrie DVD that has Carrie, the Rage Carrie 2, and this 2002 one on it, and confirm the poster. But I'm pretty sure that is. Yeah, that is the 2002 one. I've seen it. It's all right. It's not too bad. Yeah, it was kind of a backdoor. It was supposed to be. I think it was either this or the Rage Carrie 2. Actually, was kind of supposed to be a pilot for a show, I believe.
It's definitely. It's definitely the Carrie, the TV Carrie.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, there's some. It's all right. It's not bad for a TV movie. But yeah, Stand By Me is a really good 80s movie. I didn't grow up with it, but I still like it a lot. And great cast, yeah, good stuff. Rob Reiner was on a hell of a streak in the 80s and early 90s. He damn near didn't have a bad film. So Stand By Me. Yeah.
Well, it'll be
Stand
By Me. Richie, what do you say?
I haven't seen that. I know about the Carrie TV show, the TV movie. But yeah, I haven't really watched it. I feel like I even came to the original pretty late, and I think the first Carrie movie I watched was a remake, which that's unfortunate. But
that movie put me to sleep. We'll talk about it. But that movie put me to sleep.
Get to it, and then Stand By Me, I came to late as well. I tell a story where my friend at the time, really let me borrow a bunch of DVDs. One of them was Stand By Me, and I had it in my my possession for about 4 months, and then I still didn't watch it. So I had to give it back. I had to give it back. Then after it, a couple months later, I'm like, there was one movie I kind of wanted to add a collection I wanted to watch, so I got it back and I watched it. But yeah, no, it's definitely I can definitely see why it's up there. It's definitely better than the I'd imagine. Definitely better than the Carrie TV movie.
Can confirm. There's my triple. There's Carrie on the bottom, 2002. There we go.
All right. Do you have remake in your possession as well?
No. and you know me, I own damn near everything, Richie. But no, I never bought.
Yeah. Well, it'll be Stand By Me. So
I agree. It is Stand By Me. That's my vote.
Okay.
Yeah, he forgot. You got
Take joke me, but that's okay.
It's okay. I'm here. I'm
You
here
vote
to
either.
check.
Yeah. Well, if you have anything else to say, you can go for it.
No, I've never seen this Carrie remake, but even if I had, Stand By Me would win because it's not just a great Stephen King adaptation; it's a great movie. Period.
Yeah. Yep. It is. Yeah, it's a classic. So
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Well, if you Stand By Me, moving on, we got the Tommy Knockers
All
going up
right.
against Hearts in Atlantis.
Yeah.
So it'll be Austin first this time.
Oh, me first. Okay.
Yeah.
I again, Tommy Knockers used to come on. A lot of these Stephen King miniseries, like Tommy Knockers, the Langoliers, which we'll talk about, and I said in the comments, truck stuff. Like, used to just come on Sci-Fi on like Sunday afternoons. Just taking up a 4-hour chunk, of television time. So I've seen it. I remember very, very little about it. I remember being whatever. Hearts in Atlantis is not. I don't think it's great, but Anthony Hopkins is good in it, and there's at least some redeeming quality. So I'll go with Hearts in Atlantis.
Yeah. And I have not seen either one of these. So yeah, I don't really know really anything. I was looking up a quick little synopsis of the Tommy Knockers. I guess there's something about somebody digging up something that they buried in the woods or something like that. So, yeah, and probably if you were to put these two in front of me for a first time watch, I'd definitely pick the Tommy Knockers over Hearts in Atlantis. It just seems a little more interesting to me, so I'll go with that. Richie?
Yeah, I haven't seen Hearts in Atlantis, and again, I forget that it's a Stephen King adaptation. But like Tommy Knockers, it's not great, but you can have a lot of fun with it. So I'll go. Not strongly, but I will. And I don't. And if it makes it, I don't think I'll make it far. But I'll go Tommy Knockers just because it's not a great movie, but yeah, fun with it.
Yeah, sounds good. Matt, what do you think?
So I haven't seen either of these, but I'm going to use a similar thing to Jordan to determine that. If you were to put both of them in DVDs in front of me and say which one would you want to watch, I'd go for the Tommy Knockers just because the poster itself pops out more to me first from the logo than Hearts of Atlantis does.
Yep, exactly. Sounds good. Mark, what do you think?
I'm going to go total 180 because I have not seen the Tommy Knockers, although I read the book, but I have seen Hearts of Atlantis, directed by Richie's countryman, Scott Hicks, who also did, I am... Shine, yes.
Yeah.
And it is a wonderful, wonderful movie, very much in the vein of Stand By Me, in that it's not terribly supernatural, but it is an excellent coming of age story. And and it's criminally underseen. So I obviously don't have enough votes, but Hearts in Atlantis I think is the better choice.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's fair enough.
Sounds good.
But with 3 votes, Tommy Knocker is still going to take this one. So, but we'll see. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those tournaments where the second round will get a little tougher when it's some movies we've seen and we like.
Right.
Indeed.
The more we've actually seen. Yeah.
Well, that is also one of the downfalls of doing a list on a specific person.
Sure.
That's
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, we have the Mist up next against
the
most recent.
Here we go.
Chapter 1 is what
Chapter
it is.
1,
So,
yeah. Wow, this could be tough. All right.
Yeah, so
Jordan.
I guess it's me first.
Yeah,
this one is tough because I love both these movies, but there's one thing, and I've said it before on here that puts one of these over the top. It's something that I don't like from the Mist. It's freaking Marcia Gay Harden. I know you're not supposed to like her character, but like, man, you just want to slap her across
and we've
the face
explained
and tell her to shut up. Like all the
point.
preaching and all that stuff. I think it's just really annoying. And I don't actually mind the ending to it. The ending is known to be kind of shocking, but I kind of dig it a little bit. So
happy ending. That I've explained on the show.
Right. Happy, maybe, but
just think of it in the broader context. Just think of it in the broader context. That's all.
Sure. Yeah, but I think it just kind of resonates with me a little more, especially chapter 1. So, and I remember my theater experience just seeing it in a packed house. It's been a while since I've seen a really good horror movie in a packed house like that. So that was fun. So I'll go with it. But Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, man, it's pretty hard. Yeah, look, I get the happy ending argument, but
Yeah.
but it's also like, I mean, it's happy ending for the rest of society, not them, not him. He's gonna go to therapy. Anyway, he just
probably going to kill himself anyways. Actually, yeah,
probably.
Maybe.
And then definitely surprised me. I think Bill Skarsgård is amazing as Pennywise. I think it's a great movie that builds up suspense. So I love The Mist. I think it's really good, but I'm gonna go It.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go It Chapter 1. It's actually my favorite Stephen King adaptation. And it's also one of my favorite movie theater experiences, especially this projector scene that played huge in my theater. It's one of my favorite horror movies. It's easily my favorite Stephen King adaptation. So it is It Chapter 1.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, Mark, what do you think here?
Granted, I haven't seen The Mist, but I know about the ending. I'm throwing my lot with It.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin?
All right, so despite the fact that it looks great on 4K and it's a great movie and I love it, also had a great theatrical experience in IMAX, so the sound was like cranked up. It was great. The Mist is in my top horror movies of all time. I love this movie. I love the survival aspect, the sort of one location thing about maybe I connect to it because I work in a supermarket and it takes place in a supermarket. So that's another thing that I love. I like that it's a throwback to like 50s sci-fi, and there's a black and white version on the double DVD. You can watch it in black and white, and it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I just dig some of the characterizations and all that. So I'll be the lone voice for The Mist, but I understand why Chapter 1's going through. It's a great film, so you don't get a lot of arguments from that. It's a great movie.
Also, in other like Bill Skarsgård horror news, like he's going to be in a remake of Nosferatu with Lily Rose Depp. So
I saw that.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's in Barbarian. I just saw in the theater 2 days ago. Yeah, a little bit. So
yeah. And one of these days, I want to read the book It, but it's a little intimidating. It's like 4 or 5 inches thick, that giant book. But
the audiobook is 44 hours.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I have it on Audible. Yeah, it's like 40 hours. It's like a 40-hour audiobook. It's nuts.
Yeah, but it'll be it. So up next week we have Silver Bullet.
That's the Scream Factory right there.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I love Scream Factory.
I love Scream Factory so much. Yeah.
The Stand. So.
Oh, this is the 90s miniseries. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Richie.
I've never heard of Silver Bullet, but that poster looks sick.
Yeah.
I just want that. Even if the movie's better, I want that in a collection just to make, because I think it would make my shelf kind of pop.
Yeah. Right.
But the Stand. Probably one of the definitely Stephen King's more like well-known sort of stories here. I haven't seen the miniseries, but I've seen like other, I think there has been other. Wasn't there like a more recent adaptation of that? I'm pretty sure. I thought there was
I think there was. Yeah, there's one just like a year ago.
I saw some of that and I like that. But I haven't seen the '90s one. But because I haven't seen Silver Bullet, I am tempted to go because of the poster. But I'm more familiar with the Stand, so I'll go to the Stand.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good. Matt, what do you think?
While I have at least heard of the mini series of The Stand here, I will go with Silver Bullet because Scream Factory for the win.
Yeah, right. Sounds good. Mark, what do you think?
I've seen neither. I think just for wickedness' sake, I'm going to go with Silver Bullet simply because The Stand is one of King's biggest novels, and Silver Bullet was based on Cycle of the Werewolf, which I think was like an advent calendar that he wrote. It was comparably shorter.
What? An advent calendar? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Look, it was a comparably slimmer work.
Sure.
Yeah, right. So it's an advent calendar counting down to Halloween, then maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that some of his better adaptations are some of those shorter stories.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, no, some of these they made full movies out of, like, those books he had where it was just 10-page short stories or something,
Yeah.
and they expanded into a full film. Yeah, because I mean
Yeah.
the trucks and the Maximum Overdrive thing is based on a short called Trucks, and it's just about a quick thing about
Yeah,
trucks. in
but
real life.
like Shawshank and Stand By Me.
Yeah, right.
Not
The
great.
dollar
Shawshank,
baby
yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Silver Bullet here as well because it has a guy I took my favorite picture I've ever taken with somebody, Gary Busey. So Silver Bullet, Gary Busey for the win. That's Uncle Red.
Yeah.
Well, oddly enough, Beat the Geek, little bit of Beat the Geeks history.
Okay.
The fella who created the reality show I'm with Busey
Yes.
was my punch-up guy on Beat the Geeks.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. Yeah. I think that I gotta go with The Stand because I actually have seen it. I remember seeing it back in the day when it was on TV, and I don't remember a lot about it because I've only seen it the one time since then. But I'm a fan of the other Gary from this one, Gary Sinise, so I'll go with The Stand. So, but
Marc,
I think it's
that's
Silver
fine.
Bullet, right?
It's hard to see. Okay, there you go in the picture. My favorite
nice.
picture I've ever taken with Gary Busey and his smile. Great stuff. Love it. He
Nice.
was as bonkers as I thought he'd be in person as well. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I figured the extra $20 to take a selfie with him was well worth it. When else am I going to get a chance to take a picture with Gary Busey?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. Gotta take advantage of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I think it's gonna be Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So up next we have Cujo going up against Secret Window. Okay. So it'll be Matt first.
Okay. So Cujo was the first Stephen King novel I've ever read and owned.
Okay.
I've actually never seen the adaptation. I haven't heard good things about Secret Window, so I'm going to go with Cujo because it was in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, sure. Mark, what do you think?
I have not seen either film. I'm going to get. It's tough because on the one hand, David Koepp is a great screenwriter, but I'm going to give the edge to Cujo because Louis Teague has been a really good, consistent, low to mid budget director. Gave us Alligator,
baby. Alligator.
Also, gave us The Lady in Red with Pamela Sue Martin with a screenplay by John Sayles, who also wrote Alligator. So,
okay, nice. Sounds good. Well, Austin, what do you think?
Well, you'll be happy to note, Mark, I sort of hosted and came up with a list. We did a tournament fight of When Animals Attack movies. Alligator made the top 8. I love Alligator. I turned a lot of people onto it. It's awesome. It rules. And
you sent me a copy of it. So
yeah. And I love. But Cujo did very well in that tournament as well. It's a really good, solid movie. Again, sort of a one location movie because a lot of it just bounces between the house and the car. It's just kind of a one very centralized movie. I love animal attack movies. It's one of my favorite kind of subgenres of horror. So I'll go Cujo here.
Yeah. I think Secret Window is fine. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't think it's bad though. I think it's just kind of mediocre. It's kind of a slightly interesting movie about this writer that's kind of just held up in this house or cabin thing, and he has some kind of creepy encounters. But Cujo, I remember seeing it way too young because I grew up not really watching very many horror movies. I don't know how I saw Cujo, but for whatever reason, I was maybe like 6 or 7 years old when I saw it, and it really freaked me out. And then I saw the movie Beethoven, and I was a little nervous to even watch Beethoven after that because of the Saint Bernard. Yeah.
Well, if Beethoven were to get rabies, you'd get Cujo.
yeah, right. So
yeah,
but yeah. I really like Cujo. I've gone back to it a couple of times, so yeah, I'll go with Cujo. So
Richie.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah. Again, I think I bought Secret Window off a friend who was moving, and she needed to downsize some stuff. So I was like, and then I watched it, and I'm like, oh, I can see why you gave that away. But no, it was good. It's okay. It's not bad. But yeah, Cujo is the better movie. Definitely, like if you're looking for more Stephen King like the more Stephen King horror-esque, I think Cujo ticks that box, and it's a great movie. So I'll go Cujo.
It just reminds me, I need to buy Cujo. I'm buying it right now.
Yeah.
I'm on the digital. I need to buy a physical. Anyways.
And also, it's a great performance from Dee Wallace. So shout out Dee Wallace.
Who I also met while I was for a Critters reunion at a convention, and she's a sweetheart.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Well, it'll be Cujo moving on. So, up next we have Mr. Harrigan's Phone, which is a brand new one that just dropped.
Didn't that just come out a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
Well, I accidentally had the Mist twice on the list, so we needed a last second replacement. And the only thing I could really find on Wikipedia was this thing that just dropped. So
yeah.
it is what it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sure nobody's got a chance to watch it yet, maybe, but then we have the remake of The Shining with what's his name from Wayne.
Oh, Steven Weber. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or a miniseries or something.
It might be the only reason why it makes it forward, but
yeah, I'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, Mark first.
Yeah, Mark.
Oh. Okay. Once again, seen neither, and I mean, I know this was totally picked at random, but this is like pretty much the most totally petty choice here, because it's either the version of The Shining that Stephen King approved of, or this one where he's looking at his son writing the black phone. It's just like, okay, I can write a phone story too, kid.
Yeah, right.
So I will, but I'm going to be magnanimous and give it to Mr. Harrigan's Phone based off of some good early reviews I've heard, because I've not heard as good an assessment of the TV Shining.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, Austin, what do you?
Yeah, I've seen that TV Shining, mainly because that podcast reviewed it. I had to watch it and see why Stephen King likes this one, over the other one, and I can't fathom it. That movie is
Kubrick did direct.
It is a chore to sit through. It's really bad. It's got some really bad effects. I mean, I like Steven Weber on Wings, but yeah, I'm sorry. And this thing, he just doesn't pull it off. It's not great. So even though I haven't seen it, I can't in good conscience put that movie to the next round. So I'll give it to the Netflix movie I haven't seen. So yeah, which is fine, because it'll just not get knocked out by Cujo. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Now I don't know if Google's correct on this. It says Gary Sinise is in that Shining remake. Is that right? Or am I way off?
I don't remember him being in that at all.
Yeah. Recently, Google's kind of done me wrong. That's some weird info on it. So yeah.
No, that is incorrect.
I wouldn't trust it. Yeah, but I haven't seen either one. But yeah, I have heard a couple of good early reviews from Mr. Harrigan's Phone, and I want to see it. I'll probably plan to watch it within the next week or two. So I'll vote for that. So, Richie.
Fun fact: this is not the only Stephen King adaptation that Jaden Martell's in. He's also in It.
Kid. You're right. Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't heard good things about the Stephen King approved Shining. And look, I'm intrigued by the premise of Mr. Harrigan's Phone. But yeah, as you said, I didn't realize that Stephen King's son wrote Black Phone. That's a cool, cool tidbit of information. But yeah. So yeah, I'm more than I guess I'll put it like this. I'm more than likely to watch Mr. Harrigan's Phone before I watch the Stephen King
Shining. Yeah.
So I'll go Mr. Harrigan's Phone.
Yeah, but I will say though that when we went to Halloween Horror Nights, one of the better haunted houses was the Blumhouse one that had Freaky and the Black Phone. They did a really good job with that one. So yeah, that was pretty fun. I wish I could have recorded footage from the inside. They don't let you record on the inside. So, Matt, what do you think?
I'm just going to make it a clean sweep with Mr. Harrigan's Phone. Sorry. I have heard of the Stephen King Shining, Stephen King approved Shining. Sorry, but yeah, I'm with everybody. I will more likely watch Mr. Harrigan's Phone before I watch the TV Shining.
Yeah. Yep.
Even though I do love Steven Weber and I love him in Dracula Den, loving it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot he was in that. Yeah. But
he's dead enough.
Yeah. Yeah, but We have Creepshow
Show.
going up against the Dark Tower.
Oh, this is easy.
Yeah, this might be easy. But let's see, who's first now?
Me, yeah. Dark Tower's not great. We kind of talked about it. I did actually revisit it when I was on Malcolm's show doing Idris Elba movies. But yeah, it's not great. I mean, he's fine in it. Matthew McConaughey's fine. They're just stuck in a bad, rushed, movie trying to cram a lot of stuff into one movie. But Creepshow is one of the all-time great horror anthologies. I'm a big fan of horror anthologies. I love stuff like Creepshow and Tales from the Hood, and even some of the Tales from the Crypt movies, like things like that. I love that stuff. So Creepshow is great. I love it. So yeah, Creepshow.
Yeah. And I won't say that I avoided the Dark Tower. I just didn't really rush out to go see it because the reviews were bad. So I still haven't gotten around to go or to watching it. But Creepshow is great. I love Creepshow, especially the segment that has Leslie Nielsen in it. It's really good. So speaking of Dracula Dead and loving it, we got Leslie Nielsen again, and then Ed Harris, Hal Holbrook. I mean, even Ted Danson. There's some fun people that'll pop up in it, and yeah, I was a big fan of Tales from the Crypt. So this is kind of right in that same vein. So yeah, I'll vote Creepshow pretty easy here. So,
Richie.
Yeah, Dark Tower should have been bigger than it was because Dark Tower is one of Stephen King's more celebrated books. And I think everyone was looking forward to it. And it made some decisions, and it's not a good movie. Creepshow. I'm a huge fan of like the other Tales of the Crypt-esque sort of movies, and apologies for the movie. So this was pretty easy. I'll go Creepshow.
Yeah, sounds good. Matt,
I'm gonna go Creepshow as well. I've been wanting to watch it for a long time. I actually have interest in watching it at some point. I could care less for the Dark Tower.
Yeah, yep. And I don't know if Marc can still hear us or if he dropped out for a second. I know he's kind of at the coffee shop, so he may have a wonky connection, but maybe he can give some thoughts when he comes back because it's going to be Creepshow anyway. So yeah. So we'll put that through, and we'll see if he pops back in. If you can hear us, Marc, we can't hear or see you. You may want to drop out and come back in, but we'll move to the next one. We have the Green Mile up against.
Sometimes they come back again.
Again. Yeah, not the original.
Way too young.
Yeah. And I think it's me first, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I have not seen this one. I have not even seen the original one. So,
there he is.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Marc. Real quick, Creepshow's moving through. Any thoughts on Creepshow or the Dark Tower?
Yeah,
Creepshow.
Creepshow. It's pretty obvious, but yeah, just want to make sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Jordan, put him back in his right place above me.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
You really should be above me. I'm only above him because I'm the co-host. That's only the only reason.
Right.
Marc Everhart is certainly above me.
Yeah. Right. Well, for me, so I already mentioned that I'm not seeing sometimes they come back again, but the Green Mile, I'm honestly not a huge fan of it. I think it's kind of boring. I don't know. It's just them running around in this jail and they're chasing mice and I don't know. They're just it didn't really resonate with me. But I do know a lot of people love it. So I mean, more power to you if you do. But even so, though, since it's the only one that I've seen, I'll still vote for the Green Mile. So, but Richie, what do you think?
I feel that's a great synopsis. It's not right accurate for people in this
Running
jail.
around chasing
Right.
mice.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not really the best.
Yeah, you're kind of competing for that
Best
Twitter
description.
competition of describe a movie in the wrongest way possible.
Yeah, right. Well, that's all I really remember from it.
Yeah.
I think I was also pretty tired when I watched it, so
Yeah.
maybe I should rewatch.
I was going to say, I think you and I watch different movies, but it's all good.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, I talked about Green Mile a lot. I like it probably more than some of the people on this panel. I really enjoy it. I think Mark Duncan gets one of the best performances I've I mean, I've seen him in film anyway. I think he's amazing. I haven't seen Sometimes They Come Back Again, but I'm intrigued. Yeah, like I'm discovering new films on this show, which is cool because I didn't realize there was so many adaptations. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Green Mile. I think it's great.
Yeah, sounds good. Matt.
So I actually have not seen The Green Mile, but like I said earlier, I have seen Sometimes They Come Back Again. But I was like 7 or 8 when I saw it. Don't ask me why I watched it at that young. But it's going to come down to cast. And while I do like that Sometimes They Come Back Again has Michael Gross and Hilary Swank and Alexis Arquette, it doesn't even come close to touching the cast of The Green Mile. Like, come on.
Yeah, right. Well, Mark, what do you think?
Well, even though technically The Green Mile is not a prequel to Behind the Green Door, I'm going to put my vote on The Green Mile. Just never seen Sometimes They Come Back, and I think it lacks the heft that Green Mile possesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
You'd be right about that. I know for a fact I've seen Sometimes They Come Back and Sometimes They Come Back Again because I rented both of them from DVD Netflix to watch it along with that podcast. I remember like very little about both of them other than there's flashbacks with greasers. That's like all I remember. It's like there's greasers all over that music. Yeah, and there's a third one as well. Yeah, something like that. I don't remember if it's included here or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like all I remember is like greasers and flashbacks. So yeah, it's just because it's not that memorable. Yeah, I'm not over the moon about The Green Mile. I like it. I don't know if I love it, but I'll still get behind it for this one for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be The Green Mile, pretty easy. So, yeah. See, up next we have Dreamcatcher going up against the original It.
Tim Curry. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So back to Richie down at the bottom there. Richie, what do you got?
Right. I mean, I know I'm going. I mean, Dreamcatcher's not great, but I had fun with it. I think it's all right. I think I've watched it a few times. I think it's not too bad. I think a lot of people have shit on it. I don't think it's that bad. But yeah, Stephen King's It. I think is it's great. I think it's a great adaptation. I'm going to get my words out before I have to deal with the dogs. I'll go.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Sounds good. Matt.
So yeah. I've actually seen neither of these. So I, as much as I do know about Dreamcatcher, and I do know how it kind of is a little out there. I have to be Stephen King's It just because Tim Curry's Pennywise is so iconic.
Yeah. Sounds good. Mark, what do you think?
I've seen neither as well, but okay. It has a clown, but Dreamcatcher has shit weasels. I've got to give it to Dreamcatcher.
Sure, yeah.
If Mark didn't bring up the toilet demons or toilet creatures or whatever, the shit creatures, I was going to bring them up too because oh my god, is that absolutely nuts from that movie? But yeah, it's Dreamcatcher. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it since the theater, but it's bonkers. But in this case, I'm going to go with the Stephen King It. I know people are way more fond of like the first half and the second half. I do still like the second half because I'm just a huge John Ritter fan and I miss him. And he's obviously in both halves, as the adults. But yeah, Tim Curry is just so great in that movie, and I think he's just a staple of the horror genre at this point. So yeah, I'll go with It.
Doesn't Dreamcatcher have a connection to another Stephen King property?
I mean, Dreamcatcher itself, the book, I think is like a compilation of short stories, so it might or something. I believe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the original Stephen King's It, like this movie, I genuinely creeps me out because Tim Curry just kills it in this role. The remake of it's great, but it doesn't really scare me the way that the original one did. And Dreamcatcher, I was having a conversation with one of our other co-host, Chris Scott, and like he absolutely loves Dreamcatcher. Like it's one of his like favorite horror movies. I was kind of like, oh, like he let me borrow it once, and I think I got through like maybe 20 to 25 minutes, and and like I was just done. I couldn't do it. I was like yeah, this is just bad. So yeah, I got to go with it pretty easily here.
I was looking up real quick, Matt, the trivia for Dreamcatcher, and all the characters hail from Derry in the movie, which is where it takes place.
Okay,
so there you
that's
go.
fine. That's fine.
There's always those connections.
Okay.
So it actually has a direct connection to it right here. So
It, yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
I watched Dreamcatcher like right before I watched Human Centipede, which is a very weird double feature, to be honest.
Yeah.
That is weird.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I think it's gonna be it. So
Yep. Mm-hmm.
it is moving on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got the
There you
original
go.
Shining. There you go. Going up against Christine.
Okay.
All right.
Matt.
It's The Shining. Now I'm going to be honest. I've actually never completed The Shining. But I mean, again, iconic. That image right there of Jack Nicholson alone, and then of course you've got the Overlook Hotel itself is an iconic place to the point that isn't it host a film festival, or did it used
I think
to?
so.
Yeah.
And I've been there.
I've been wanting to watch Christine because it is a John Carpenter film. But I am going to give it to The Shining.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, Mark, what do you think?
Okay, this randomizer sucks. All right.
Yeah.
We have all these ham and egger Stephen King adaptations here, and you're putting Carpenter against Kubrick. That is cruel. That is absolutely cruel.
Right.
But we have to give it to Kubrick.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. Well, Austin.
Yeah, this one is going to be an easy Kubrick Shining for me. I'm wearing the T-shirt right here, so I have to. I think it's a heavy favorite for this one. Christine, I've seen it a couple of times over the years. I appreciate that it was Carpenter doing a Stephen King movie. I like the score. The score is good. I've never really gotten super into the movie. I feel like there's a couple of jumps in like character logic that I can never get over. Where I feel like there's a jump where the main kid goes from like good to evil very quickly, and there's not like an in-between process there. So it's a kind of wonky movie for me, but I always do go back to it every couple of years to check it out. But yeah, I love The Shining, one of my favorites of all time. So yeah, I'll go The Shining.
Yeah. I've never seen Christine, but I've heard really good things about it. So it's probably one that's higher on my list to watch. I mean, I just know that it's a possessed car, but I don't really know much beyond that. But The Shining's great. Like, it's not one like honestly that I find myself running back to. I have seen it 3 times, but it does have one of my favorite quotes in it when which is one of the iconic ones. Wendy, darling, light of my life. I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna brash your fucking brains in. So yeah, that one's fun to quote for a horror movie. But I'll go with The Shining. So,
Richie.
But all right, Richie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Christine. I think I don't know if I just remember it wrong. I think that they've announced or something that there's plans to do a remake of it. So we'll see how that plans out.
That's one I'm okay with because I don't think it was exploited to its highest degree in this movie. I think you could do that again, and I'd be okay with it.
Like I feel like Christine would go over a lot of these ones that we've had beforehand. But yeah, like The Shining is probably, I dare say The Shining will be in the final. So I'll go Shining.
Yeah. It's a heavy contender here. So yeah, it'll be the Shining.
And apparently, it's going to Blumhouse, so we'll see what happens as far as Christine. So,
okay,
yeah. So we'll see.
All right. Well, that'll be the end of this first side. So,
all right,
making decent time.
Making good time. So, thank you everybody for doing that. We're making good time. I know Mark's only got a limited amount of time at that coffee shop, so we're trying to.
Well, we got Firestarter up against Pet Cemetery here.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Mark's first. Yeah.
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
I mean, I love me some Mark Lester, but if we're gonna be talking about children in peril, Stephen King movies, Pet Cemetery nails it.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin.
I like Firestarter. I don't love Firestarter. I think there's some great practical stuff. I do think Drew Barrymore's okay. It's a decent movie. I really like the original Pet Cemetery. I think Fred Gwynne's amazing in that movie. Little Gage is always creepy. There's just some good stuff there. It's one that I go back to a lot, so I'll give it to Pet Cemetery.
Yeah. So for me, shout out to the better version of Pet Cemetery, which is the original, by far. And yeah, this movie's great. This movie really creeps me out, makes me think of cats in a whole new light. So, and I've never seen Firestarter, but I mean, just having Drew Barrymore there intrigues me. But I'll give it to Pet Cemetery. So,
You know, it'd be great. You know, it would be great. We could have this matchup again. Like maybe the next one down.
We potentially could. The remake.
We could, yeah. Yep. Yeah, they both got remakes. So.
Like Firestarter's all right. It's not like it's interesting that it's interesting that out of all Stephen King that got a remake. It's fine. I mean, and the remake. We'll get to that. That sucks. Anyway, I will. Yeah. Pet Cemetery is great. But the remake is not that bad either. But like we'll get to that. But yeah, like the original is far superior. So I'll go with Pet Cemetery. I think it's great.
Yeah, sounds good, Matt.
I'm gonna go with Pet Cemetery mostly because my parents had the VHS when I was a child because of the whole Columbia House movie thing, and the image of Little Gage on the back scared the shit out of me for years. That image still sits with me a little bit.
Yeah, pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be Pet Cemetery.
And just for I don't know if anybody knows the image, but it's right before he kills the old man. He's standing there with that evil look in his face. Scalpel, that's the image. Crap.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see. We got Thinner next up against Children of the Corn.
All right.
So,
hey, Jordan, 2 movies I told you to watch. What'd you think?
Yeah. Well, actually, I watched both of these. Who's up first?
You. That's why.
Okay. All right.
Oh, no,
sorry.
I'm sorry. I guess I should be up for Mark just went. I'm sorry. I got my order wrong, but I'll get to you in a second. I'll just vote for. It's kind of. It's actually tougher than you think. I like both these movies a lot. I'll give it to Shoulder to the Corn just because it has Linda Hamilton, and I met some of the cast members, so I'll give it to that. Sorry. Good.
Well, yeah. So I tried to watch as many Stephen King movies as I could leading up to this. I was able to watch both of these for the first time. So I watched Children of the Corn yesterday. I watched Thinner this morning, and yeah, like I really like both of them. So this one's tough. Like I thought they were both great. I mean, because what I liked about Thinner is that it has a really good like revenge kind of FU like story to it, and a pretty good ending. Like I love how the movie wraps up too. It's really good. But Children of the Corn, Linda Hamilton's great, and I love all the creepy kids just running around causing like death and destruction and all that stuff, and like essentially taking over this small town. So I mean I think that. I'll give it to Children of the Corn, but it's a pretty razor thin margin for me because I really like both of them. So, but Children of the Corn.
All
right. Richie?
Yeah. Didn't Children of the Corn get span like 6 sequels or some shit?
Oh God, I've seen. God, I followed the podcast and watched all of them. God, the sequels. But I will say there's a few interesting those movies like the horror movies. They always feature like one person that went on to do something. Like the third one has like Charlize Theron in it, and like you know another one has somebody else. Like they all have like somebody buried in the cast that went on to do something. So
one of them directed by my pal John Goodacre.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
right, cool.
Like Children of the Corn, pretty good. I'm gonna go Thinner here. I think Thinner's underrated, and I like the concept, and I think it's really well done. So I'm gonna go Thinner.
Yeah, like I thought that like Thinner, like when I saw it, like it kind of played out more like a TV movie to me, but like one of the best TV movies that I've seen though. So
yeah,
with
replacement RoboCop, Robert John Burke.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's what I'll remember it as. But
yeah, Matt.
So I haven't seen either of these, but I'm gonna go with Thinner because I remember actually seeing the trailer when I was really young, and it's kind of always one that I still sometimes think about, or whenever somebody mentions it, I just automatically picture the trailer. And because of how old I was when I saw it, forgive me for this, but I thought that was Richard Dreyfuss in a fat suit.
Oh. Well, the actor does a really great job. I really like the kind of he's kind of hamming it up, almost like a character sort of thing. But I like that though. Yeah, it's fun. But Mark, what do you think?
I've seen neither, but I'm also gonna go for Thinner because of Robert John Burke. I never saw him in RoboCop 3, but I loved him in the Hal Hartley movies, especially Simple Men. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well,
It's
I guess
actually
it'd be
Thinner.
Thinner, right?
Thinner,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Thinner. All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, which
I actually wouldn't have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
no, but I'm not mad about it though. I had a fun time with it. So, but we got up next, Cat's Eye going up against Graveyard Shift.
By the way, your pal John Goodacre directed Children of the Corn Runaway from 2018. It's like the 7th one or something.
Okay.
From what I can tell, I believe. Yes.
Nice.
I just wanted to look that up and see.
Yeah.
I did not put all the Children of the Corn sequels on here, so sorry for anybody looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, we did not. But
All right.
I think I'm first, right?
Yeah, you're first this time.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I haven't seen either one of these, so it's hard to really say. Like I'm not like literally just judging by the poster, and I think the Graveyard Shift has a cooler poster, so I'll just vote for it because of that. So, but Richie?
Is Cat's Eye just like a collection of shorts or something like a short?
Yeah, it's an anthology movie. Yeah, it's got
Oh,
three
okay.
things. Yeah,
I would have pictured that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's the other Louis Teague Stephen King movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think we've talked about Graveyard Shift on here before. Like I still haven't been around to watching it, so it's hard to find here. But I'll get around to it. I like the poster. But yeah, I think I've seen a bit of Cat's Eye. Like it came up on some random thing. So I haven't finished. Didn't get to finish it. But what I saw was a story I like. So I'll go Cat's Eye.
Yeah, sounds good. Matt?
My only knowledge of these were seeing the VHSs in the local video stop.
Yeah.
And Cat's Eye kind of reminds me of those really cheesy portraits you see.
You're right. Yeah.
It's
It's like awkward family photos.
Graveyard Shift because I think that image looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Sounds good. Mark, what do you think?
Never seen Graveyard Shift, but I've seen enough of Cat's Eye that I'm giving that one the edge. Especially the first segment about quitting smoking.
Sounds good. Austin.
Yeah, I've seen both of these. Graveyard Shift is pretty bad. It's about like guys in a mine. There's like giant rats. It's not great. But yeah, Cat's Eye again. I love horror anthologies. This one's fun. Although there's one that's not really so much horrific. It's like Robert Hayes just crawling around a ledge on a building, and that's like the entire short is him trying to get from like one side of the building to the other, just crawling on the ledge. But it's intriguing. But there's another good one where there's a little troll running around in the third segment, and the cat fights a little troll. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, it's a good little horror anthology if you get a chance. So I'll give it to Cat's Eye.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like Cat's Eye.
Yeah.
I'll take it. So cool. Let's see. And up next we have Gerald's Game up against Salem's
the
Lot.
Rob Lowe Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rob Lowe one, which
Whoa.
was it a TV movie? I think it was.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah, it has
TV. Yeah, it's a TV movie.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Richie.
Matt.
Richie.
Oh,
Me?
Richie.
So I've never seen either of them. So I'm
Hey,
gonna go with Gerald's Game based on reputation alone.
Was it me or Matt?
It was Richie. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah,
all right.
it was-
It's okay. But yeah, Richie.
That's all good. That's all right. Yeah, Salem's Lot. I didn't know they. I didn't know they remade this into a TV movie. That Rob Lowe looks fucking weird. Anyway, it's just very. I need to be badass. I need to be brooding on the cover. Gerald's Game. Yeah, like I thought it was really really well done. Gina, I can't remember her name. But anyway, she does a good job. Yeah, and I think it's like one of the. Was this a Netflix movie? No, Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the better Netflix movies. We just don't say a lot because they don't make a lot of great movies. But they don't produce a lot of great movies. But yeah, I'll go Gerald's Game here.
Yeah. Sounds good. Matt, now you.
Yeah. So basically, for what I said earlier, I've never seen either of them, but Gerald's Game because of the reputation.
Yeah. Sounds Sounds good.
Mark?
Mark, what do you think?
I've seen neither. But I kind of like the premise of Gerald's Game a little better, and I'm personally waiting for that other remake of Salem's Lot that Warner pulled, and I'm really hoping that they don't memory hole that one with Batgirl. So
Oh yeah,
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, Austin.
Yeah, I have seen that Salem's Lot Rob Lowe thing. It's not as bad as you think. It's actually pretty decent. I mean, it's about on par with the original. It's not bad. But yeah, I really like Gerald's Game. I'm a big Mike Flanagan fan. I think Mike Flanagan has been really killing it the last 10 years or so. He's kind of one of the underrated kings of horror right now. I think he's awesome. And yeah, I've got a mad crush on Carla Gugino. Have since Sin City. So Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
The second time Mike Flanagan's been on this list because obviously Doctor Sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was exactly what I was gonna say. If it's Mike Flanagan, then I'm in because I haven't seen either one of these. But I mean, I love Doctor Sleep and the Salem's Lot remake, though, or the TV movie is like it has a pretty interesting cast with Rob Lowe and Donald Sutherland, Rutger Hauer, Andre Braugher. I mean, James Cromwell. So I mean, like with that kind of cast, you would think it'd be talked about a little more, but I guess not. It's not that. Apparently not that good. I haven't seen it, but so I'll go with Gerald's Game, I think. So
all right, Gerald's Game. Move on.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Gerald's Game. All right. All right. We got the original Carrie going up against Creepshow 2. So all right. So it'll be Matt first.
It's Carrie. I have seen that one. Really enjoyed it. A lot of future stars in that movie. Holy crap. Yeah, it's just an overall great horror movie. Yeah, and I haven't seen Creepshow 2. So, Carrie, all the way.
Yeah, sounds good. Mark, what do you think? Mark?
He might be a little frozen.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you might be a little frozen, Mark. We'll go to Austin, but when
We'll
you
come
pop
back to
back
you.
in, we'll come back to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy one for Carrie, even though I may be one of the world's biggest defenders of Creepshow too. Like I kind of dig it. I mean, it's not as good as the original, but I like that oil slick one in the middle because I'm a big fan of stuff like the Blob. So, and it's kind of like the Blob on a lake, which I kind of dig. And yeah, there's things to like about it. I like the Hitcher one too. But again, I love horror anthology, so put one in front of me, I'm probably going to watch it. But yeah, it doesn't hold a candle to Carrie. Carrie's amazing, still holds up, still great. So yeah, I'll go with Carrie.
Yeah, and I've not seen Creepshow 2, but I love Creepshow 1. I mean, I'm sure that it at least has a similar vibe. I don't know if that means it's good or not, but
it's got a way lower budget, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, because when I'm looking at the cast here, like when the most recognizable names are Stephen King as a truck driver. It's kind of
well, George Kennedy is in the original, and he's actually a pretty decent actor. He was in the Naked Gun movie.
Oh yeah,
Cool Hand Luke. I mean, he's in the
there's
first
George
one.
Kennedy.
Yeah, he's really
also
good.
Tom Savini, and he's in there. So
yeah.
But yeah, Carrie's great though. Yeah, like Sissy Spacek absolutely kills it. And then forget who plays the crazy mother too. Like she's great too. And then
I don't remember, but Nancy Allen's in there, and John Travolta. And
Piper Laurie is Piper Laurie.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
That's right. Yeah. And then seeing John Travolta pop up, that's fun. So yeah, I'll go with Carrie.
Wasn't it this movie that they were casting at the same time as Star Wars?
It might have been
possibly, yeah, because I know
Lord Lucas were doing
yes
co-auditions,
right? Yeah, because I think Harrison Ford was almost in Carrie in like the John Travolta part or something. It was very close. But hey, Mark's back. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we're back. It's all good. We haven't moved on yet, so we'll get your thoughts in just a second on this one. So
yeah.
All
right. Richie.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I haven't seen Creepshow 2 yet, but I'll probably get around to it. I like the anthology film for that. But yeah, Carrie, again, I just watched it sort of recently, and I really, really dug it. I think it's great. I can't imagine Harrison Ford being the John Travolta role. I just can't picture that. Anyway,
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I just don't think it would hit. I think it would just hit too different. But yeah, that's great. I mean, I was going to bring this up before, but if you know back a few years ago when there was like the trend of the ice bucket challenge, watch the Foo Fighters one, where they kind of they do take off Carrie. It's amazing.
I did see that.
Nice.
That was pretty good. I love the Foo Fighters for that stuff.
Yeah.
It's really fun, really funny. So yeah, but yeah, Carrie for sure. I think it's great.
Yeah. Well, Mark, what do you think here between Carrie and Creepshow 2?
Oh, no contest. It's Carrie.
Yeah, of
Yep.
course. We figured.
Yeah. yep. Pretty easy. So, yep.
You probably
Carrie,
know this
moving
one,
on.
Mark. Carrie was the movie that De Palma was co-auditioning with Lucas for Star Wars with, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And a very fine actress named Betsy Phillips was this close to getting Carrie before Sissy Spacek got it. If you ever get a chance to see a forgotten movie by Peter Hyams called Our Time, Betsy plays opposite Pamela Sue Martin. It's a really great youth drama, and Betsy Phillips is the sister of Mink Stoll from the John Waters movies.
Really?
And her son, Demian Phillips, is the $2 kid in Better Off Dead.
Oh, nice.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, well, speaking of John Waters, I think they just announced he's coming back with a new
He's
movie.
doing another movie.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love me some Crybaby.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Peter
so
Hyams makes some movies I like.
Now,
Peter.
if only John Waters had made a Stephen King movie.
Wow,
Ooh,
that'd be
right.
something.
yeah.
It couldn't,
John Waters' Creepshow.
it couldn't be
Yeah.
worse than some of the movies on this list. I'll tell you that. It's definitely
Yeah,
couldn't be better. This is
Right.
John Waters' version of some of these.
Yep. Well, up next we got the
Dark Half. Dark Half.
Yeah.
Yeah, George Romero.
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, but it's no smoking.
Yeah.
So, all right. So who's up now?
Mark.
Mark. Okay.
Ooh, does anybody know anything about no smoking? Is that the same source material as Cat's Eye?
I think so. Yeah, it was a very, very low budget movie from 2007. Yeah, it's got its following, but it's very rarely seen. It's kind of not a foreign film, but it was made overseas. It's very low budget.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, but we're certain. Okay, we're certain that this is a Stephen King adaptation.
Yes,
because,
I saw it on the Wikipedia list. Yes, it is.
Okay, because there is a very well, for art snobs, there's a very famous 2-movie set from Alan Renee called "Smoking" and then "No Smoking." The two total divergent life paths of someone who chooses whether or not to have a cigarette.
Yes.
I'm diverting from the fact that basically because I have never seen or heard of no smoking, I'm going with the Dark Half by default.
Yes, the trivia says it's very loosely based on Quitters Inc., which is the same Cat's Eye anthology.
Okay.
Yes, yes, very loosely.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
I haven't seen No Smoking, but I have seen The Dark Half. It's an interesting little Romero movie. It's a little underrated. It's not his greatest movie, but it's kind of criminally underseen. But if you're a Romero fan, I check it out. It's all right, but I've seen it and I haven't seen No Smoking, so I'll go with The Dark Half.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen either one of these, but I do kind of like both posters here. That are both pretty cool. And I'm just gonna go with kind of an interesting reason here, but The Dark Half has Michael Rooker in it, and I'm a big Michael Rooker fan, so I'll watch it for that. So yeah. But Richie, what do you think?
What the fuck are these movies? I have no idea.
Yeah, right.
I've never heard of them. It's interesting how the randomizers work, where it's like, like you either put two bad movies against each other, or like two, or one clearly, but then you got two really good movies, so you got to pick one.
Yeah, like two heavy hitters. Yeah.
But then you have two unknown movies against each
Shining
other.
versus Christine or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I guess based, it's not like anthology, but based on your thoughts, I also go The Dark Half. But yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, Matt, what do you think?
I've never heard of either of them, but I'm gonna go with Dark Half because of the poster and because I just found out Michael Rooker.
Well, this
Yeah, right.
original theatrical poster right here, I remember very vividly because I bought a lot of comic books, or my parents bought me a lot of comic books back in 1993 when this movie came out. I swear to God, this poster was in the back of every single comic book that I had.
Oh yeah.
In 1983. They pushed this hard. I don't know why. Like they pushed this movie in the comic books, but yeah, I remember like all the Star Trek comics I had it in the back. So, which is very weird because it's a rated R movie and like these comic books for like kids and teenagers. But all right.
Yeah, weird.
Okay.
It'd be the dark half. Moving on.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, now we got
There's the remake.
Yeah, the remake of Pet Cemetery
Mhm.
against Tales from the Dark Side.
All right.
And Austin.
I didn't crap on the Pet Cemetery remake as much as everybody else did. I like most of it. I think John Lithgow's good. I think it has a good atmosphere. I like the switch to the daughter as like the dead one. Like I did like things about it. But Tales from the Dark Side, again, another anthology movie from the 80s. That's a ton of fun. Really good segments. I love the James Remar segment about him and his wife. Like it's really great. So I'll go with Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, and I forgot that I watched 4 Stephen King movies because I also watched Tales from the Dark Side. So I watched that one yesterday, and it was okay. Like I probably wasn't like out of the 4 that I watched is the one that I was kind of the least on. I mean, I kind of like the last segment's kind of fun because it's like some anthologies. I don't know what's going on with Matthew Lawrence and like being trapped in a cage like the whole time telling the story. That's kind of like
he's stalling so he doesn't get put in the oven by the witch. Come on, it's very easy. You gotta stall, man.
Like they don't really explain why he's there, like how it happened. Like I guess you don't need to. I don't know. but and then the Steve Buscemi, I like that, like seeing him opposite Christian Slater. So I mean, but and then Pet Cemetery, like I forget the guy that they shoehorn in as the lead that they've been shoehorning in like a bunch, like one of the.
He was in Jason.
Jason something, but Jason Jason Clark. I'm not a big fan of his. I'm not going to say that he's terrible. They just keep shoehorning him in the lead of all these movies, and I'm just like here's your new star or like whatever. I'm like oh, this guy again. so yeah, but probably the best part of it was John Lithgow because he's John freaking Lithgow. Like he's good in everything that he does. But I remember seeing it, this Pet Cemetery in theaters and like about 30-40 minutes in wanting to walk out, but I didn't. I stuck around for all of it, and I was not a big fan of it. So I'll go Tales from the Dark Side. It was a lot more entertaining. So, but Richie.
And you really have it out for Jason Clark. He's an Australian.
Yeah,
so I feel like
yeah. Sorry,
hometown boy.
He's not my favorite.
he's a pretty good Australian actor. That actually gets underrated here, to be honest, as well. People when the media talks about Australian actors, all they talk about is like Nicole Kidman and that's about it.
Margot Robbie or Hugh Jackman. Yeah.
Nicole Kidman's not even that great. Anyway, cool. It's not going to talk about. But yeah, I actually didn't mind that. Again, I didn't mind the Pez Cemetery remake as much. As much as other people. I don't get the total hate for it. So I'll go with that because I haven't seen Tales from the Dark Side, but I'm intrigued, and I did see that you put a post up that you watched it. So I'll definitely give it a watch because it looks kind of cool. So. But
if you're a fan of like anthology movies, I think you'd probably dig it.
If you ask George Romero or Stephen King, what's the real Creepshow 3? Because there is a Creepshow 3, but it's terrible, it has like nothing to do with it. They would consider Tales from the Dark Side of the movie to be Creepshow 3.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So think of it like that. Yeah. So Matt.
Yeah, I've actually never seen either of these as well, but that poster for Tales from the Dark Side just looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. Yeah. Well, Mark, what do you think?
I have not seen the Pet Cemetery remake. I'm intrigued because I did hear some good stuff about it. I have seen Tales from the Dark Side. The one story that was adapted from Qui-Gon. I kind of saw the big reveal coming very early, but and I'm disappointed that John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band didn't do the theme song.
Yeah.
But I'm going to Tales from the Dark Side.
Dude, I love John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For some reason, like whenever I think of that, I always think of that the celebrity at Jeopardy from SNL when French Stewart, like he just keeps saying like, "What is John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band?" They're like, no, it has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
There's an old incident of David Letterman's viewer mail where a viewer brought up the fact that both the theme to the original Late Night Show and Tales from the Dark Side, the series, both opened with the same chord.
Nice. Interesting, yeah. But Austin.
No, I already voted, so it's Tales from the Dark
yeah.
Side. Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah.
Can
you tell I like horror anthologies? I really like horror.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got Shawshank Redemption up against the remake.
Oh,
of
come on.
Firestarter.
Do we even
Come on. Do we even need to? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't
we'll
need a
take some
vote
time.
here.
Come on.
come on.
We got a lot to get to.
Yeah.
let's just.
Yeah. Well,
But this is not unprecedented, Mark, for tournament fights. Sometimes we all just kind of go, yeah.
but come on. Yeah.
It happens. It happens just to save time. It's like we'll talk about Shawshank later if it comes up against.
Yeah.
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 I will say though that the trailers for the Firestarter remake had me intrigued though,
It's
but
not
then
great.
I heard
Yeah,
it's
it's
bad,
not
yeah.
I didn't hear anything good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Universal put out plenty of great horror this year, but Firestarter's not it.
No.
Yeah. Well, we have the Langoliers up against Salem's Lot, the original.
Salem's Lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Two miniseries.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, I've not seen either one of these, so that's usually how it works when I go first. I haven't seen them, but the one that I've heard more about and kind of am a little more intrigued is probably Salem's Lot. So I'll vote Salem's Lot. Richie?
Yeah, I haven't heard much about the Langoliers. Yeah, I'm intrigued though. But yeah, Salem's Lot, I've seen it and it's good. So that's where I'll go.
Yeah.
I've at least heard of Salem's Lot, so it's getting my vote. But what I actually just noticed, the Langoliers was directed by Tom Holland, who directed the first Child's Play.
And Fright Night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
And he was Spider-Man. Oh, that's different.
No. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Not that one, Richie. No, I know.
No.
Mark.
Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an easy vote for Salem's Lot, but I will say again, I saw the Langoliers a lot because he used to come on like Sunday afternoons a lot, and actually the first hour is not bad when they're just on the plane and like they lose communication, they don't know what's going on, and they're like exploring the empty things. But when they get to the Pac-Man monsters, it's very, very bad, very bad. Yeah, they're like Pac-Man monsters. It's really bad. So yeah, that's Salem's
Now I
Lot.
guess for Pac-Man monsters.
Yeah, that's what they are. Go see the clips from YouTube. It's pretty bad.
Interesting. Well, Salem's Lot.
More or less scary than shit weasels?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Pac-Man monsters scare me a little more just because they're like eating walls and shit. They're like eating everything. Shit weasels, I think I could take them. So
Yeah. Well, up next we have the Lawnmower.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Richie.
Man, yeah, good. It's decent. It was pretty hard actually. Two movies that very, kind of almost guilty pleasure-ish kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which movie had the bigger Coke budget?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was Stephen King's or Jeff Fahey's Coke budget for the Lawnmower Man. Yeah.
My only logic is, I mean, I like the Lawnmower Man, but my only logic is I changed my vote from Trucks earlier, so to make it up to as a make good, I'll go
Fair
maximum.
enough.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Sounds good. Well, Matt, what do you think?
This is also a tough one. You know what? I'm gonna go Maximum Overdrive, just because it's more badass, and there's a lot of aspects of Lawnmower Man that a lot of aspects of it that just doesn't hold up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially the computer graphics. Some things
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Mark, what do you think?
I've always wanted to see Maximum Overdrive, never have, but I have seen Lawnmower Man, and it's nuttier than a fruitcake. I got to give it to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Lawnmower Man is bonkers if you've never seen it, especially the computer scenes. Yeah, it's insanity. Yeah, it was definitely made by people on coke, but then again, so was Maximum Overdrive, and I kind of love Maximum Overdrive. Like I think it's bonkers. It's nuts. I love Emilio. It has my AC/DC is my favorite band of all time. They do the whole soundtrack. It's great, and it has one of the greatest trailers of all time because it doesn't show anything from the movie. It's just Stephen King, if you've never seen it, standing in front of just a screen, and he talks about how there's been a lot of people who have adapted Stephen King things into movies, and you know what? I just figured if you want to do it right, you got to do it yourself. I'm gonna scare the hell out of you, and it's like, but if you listen closely, he's got the score from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch playing in the background. So I do appreciate that. It's really good.
Well, it's because Dino De Laurentiis produced both movies.
Right.
Okay.
So it's fascinating when you go watch it. You'll hear that in the background, and then you see coked out Stephen King doing the promo, and it's pretty crazy. But I love that movie. Bonkers.
Coked up Stephen King.
He admits he was coked up the entire movie. Like the entire movie. He's coked up when he was directing it. Like he was out of his mind. He fully admits that today. Same as when he wrote it. So yeah. But I'll give it to Maximum Overdrive. I genuinely kind of love it.
And let's not forget the Green Goblin truck.
Yes, the Goblin truck, and come on, they're not afraid to run over kids with steamrollers. I mean, that movie's bonkers. Come on, I love it.
Yeah. So I haven't seen either one, but I mean, the one that sounds way more intriguing is probably Maximum Overdrive. Just like with the music, like I'm a big AC/DC fan also, and with Emilio Estevez in there, and then I don't know, like, do they explain what the deal is with the Green Goblin mask, or is it just there to look cool?
It's just a Green Goblin truck. Some trucker has a Green Goblin thing on the front. It just is.
That's cool, because it's like one of those iconic things that like when we did best movie vehicles, we had to have the Green Goblin truck on there, so it was there. So so yeah,
I remember that one. You didn't put. I was annoyed at that because no one put the Pork Chop Express in that.
Oh yeah, we should have. Yeah, we're gonna have a big truck.
AC/DC put out this soundtrack as an album now.
Who Made Who?
Who Made Who? Wasn't it?
Yes, correct. Because that was the title song for the movie, The Who Made Who. Because one of the women in the movie goes, "Who made? We made you."
There's only like 2 original songs, and the rest are just catalog tracks.
Yeah. No, it is.
I had the cassette tape, and I remember looking like, why is it the song? What?
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, well, I guess it'll be Maximum Overdrive. So
yep,
sounds good. Up next, we have Lawnmower Man 2. There you go. Got the second one there, going up against 1922. So it was a Netflix movie, I think. So,
all right.
So who's first?
Matt.
Me.
Matt. Okay.
Sorry, Matt.
I've heard of Lawnmower Man 2. I have never heard anything good about it. So based on that, I'm going to go to 1922.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. It sounds good. Mark, what do you think?
I've seen neither. I don't think lightning strikes twice. I'm just going to go with 1922 by default.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin?
So yeah, I haven't seen 1922. I have seen Lawnmower Man 2. It's another fascinatingly bad movie. Like, it's fascinatingly bad. Really, really bad. It actually has the kid from Last Action Hero, Austin O'Brien's, like, his other movie.
Oh,
he's in.
cool.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so he's like a group of hackers, and he's like one of them. And yeah, it has Matt Frewer, who was, what's his name? The show he had. What's his name?
Max Headroom.
Max Headroom, yeah, it's got Max Headroom in it. In a space
also
movie.
the neighbor from Honey, I Shrunk the Kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I can't in good conscience vote for it. It's a really bad movie, so I'll say 1922, even though I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I haven't seen either one of these, but I remember seeing the trailers for 1922, and they looked intriguing. I mean, I remember Thomas Jane just looking really creepy in it, and so. But that's one that just quickly was off my radar. Like when I saw it, I'm like, ooh, I want to see this, and then I just moved on to other things and forgot about it. So, and but for that reason, I don't know anything about Lawnmower Man 2, so I'll vote for 1922.
All right. Well, it makes sense. I just looked up real quick. The director of Lawnmower Man 2, Farhad Mann, directed pretty much all of Max Headroom, so that makes sense why Matt Frewer's in it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. But anyways, 1922. Or sorry, Richie. Sorry, Richie.
I'm not.
Richie.
Sorry, Richie.
But I mean, I've heard like things about Normal too. None of them great. But maybe I'll sit down and watch it just as a kind of like an intriguing watch kind of thing. I remember 1922 coming out on Netflix, and the trouble with like Netflix is everything that comes out there. So things get lost in the shuffle, so you forget certain movies exist, and then they come out there. So a lot like Jordan, I think it was probably on my watch list, and I just kind of forgot about it. I haven't watched it, but like I'm probably. There's more chance of 1922 being a good movie, so I'll go 1922.
Yeah. And also, I want to know what's beyond cyberspace. Like, is it another dimension, or like what's beyond cyberspace?
I don't remember. It's more cyberspace. It's just more cyberspace.
Yeah, yeah.
Light at the end of the tunnel. That's what's beyond cyberspace.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, 1922. We have the remake for Carrie with Chloe Grace Moretz, and then going up against
Cemetery 2.
Yeah.
We almost got that one. The thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
Cemetery 2. All right. Interesting.
Oh, we've got a female director, Donnybrook.
Yeah. Mark, you're up first. Yeah.
Random generator, my ass. No.
Yeah.
I've never seen Pet Cemetery 2. That's Mary Lambert revisiting the same material, so I'm inclined to trust her. But I am going to give it to Kimberly Pierce's Carrie remake. I think as much as it's a movie that should not exist, it finds a good, different way to tell the story. And I think Chloe Grace Moretz deserves some sort of an award for being in so many horror remakes that actually turn out pretty good, considering that I love the originals so much. I mean, she did the Carrie remake, she did the Let the Right One In remake, she did the Suspiria remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Austin?
Yeah, I mean the Carrie remake is well done. It just it put me to sleep in theaters. I just didn't think it was I didn't think it was great. I mean, I do think technically it was well done, but yeah, and look, Pet Cemetery 2 is a total guilty pleasure. I kind of love it. Clancy Brown is amazing in this movie. Like his performance is so batshit crazy that he carries it. It's awesome. It has Jared Rushton. Speaking of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids a minute ago, he's the little kid Russ. Edward Furlong, Anthony Edwards is a good cast, and I think it's better than its reputation. So as a guilty pleasure, I like it. I'll give it a Pet Cemetery 2.
Yeah. Well, I've not seen Pet Cemetery 2, but I saw the Carrie remake, and I actually liked it. I mean, it's not going to hold a candle to the original, but I mean, I thought Chloe Grace Moretz was pretty good in it, and then had a solid cast. I mean, Julianne Moore, Judy Greer, Alex Russell that I always shout out from the movie Chronicle. Like he's great in that movie, and then Ansel Elgort. So it's a pretty solid cast that shows up. So yeah, I'll vote for Carrie.
Fellas, I'm being kicked out, so
Okay.
it was nice talking to you.
All right, thank you.
Oh
Mark.
yeah,
Any
that's all
quick
good.
plugs, Mark? Or
Yeah, do you have any quick?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
He's being kicked
We had
out.
to go.
Follow, I believe it's at the Hueck on Twitter for Mark. Follow Mark on Twitter and Mark Edward Hueck on Facebook. He's always posting his links to his stuff on there. I do know that for a fact. So, yeah.
And also, he has a blog. If you just Google The Projector Has Been Drinking too, that he has a pretty good blog over there. You can
And
read it.
he does a podcast. I forget what it's called. About a filmmaker. But yeah, look up Mark Edward Hueck on Twitter. I'm sure you'll find links to all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure if he's going to be at the
I know he's under time
coffee shop
constraints.
tonight, or if he's going to be back home. And I think he's in Ohio, where he's.
But we love Mark. Mark's awesome. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. But we'll go to Richie.
Yeah. I haven't seen Pet Cemetery 2, but like from Austin's description, I'm probably going to check that out. I like bonkers movies. Yeah, Carrie. I mean, I made reference to it before. It's not a great movie, but I do think Chloe Grace Moretz and like Julianne Moore do the best with what they're given. Yeah, like Julianne Moore's no like Piper Laurie or anything like that, but she does a good job, I think. Just because I've seen it, I'll go Carrie.
Yeah. That sounds good. Matt.
Yeah, I'm actually in the same boat. I'm gonna go with Carrie because I've seen it. I only saw it the one time in theaters, and I remember thinking, well, it was a little long. I didn't mind it, and yeah, Chloe Grace Moretz I thought was great in it.
Yeah. Sounds good. So I guess it'll be Carrie. So moving on. Let's see. We have the Mangler going up against the Running Man. All right. So
You're gonna hate me.
Still hasn't watched it. Is it?
It's
who's
me.
up first? Okay,
It's me.
Okay.
So yeah, The Mangler is another bonkers batshit movie. It's like about like a killer machine in a warehouse. It's not great either, but it's like, it's one of those guilty pleasure movies. But it's one of those premises where it's like it's easy to avoid it. You just don't go in the warehouse and you don't die. Kind of like Jaws. Like you just don't go in the water and you're fine. But I love The Running Man. Running Man is one of my favorite action movies ever. Like I love Schwarzenegger in it. I'm actually open to a remake if they ever do one. I think there's a lot you can do with that premise, but it's a lot of fun. I've told Richie 8,000 times to watch this movie, and I don't think he still watched it because it feels like a wrestling movie and it's great. Running Man, easy for me.
Wrestling movie?
Well, it's got wrestling elements, like all the stalkers like have wrestling entrances. They have their own music. They have like costumes. It plays kind of like these wrestling entrances. It's great. It's really good. It's really great. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you like wrestling, it has a lot of similarities to wrestling.
I have 2 wrestling podcasts. I love wrestling.
Watch The Running Man. I told Richie the same thing. It's coming on 4K. I'm buying the 4K in 2 weeks when it comes out. I'm definitely doing that. So yeah.
Yeah. The Running Man, it's definitely one that could benefit from a 4K because I remember when I saw it, I thought that it was great, but it like seemed a little dated. So I think the 4K will really freshen it up. So I'm excited for that one too.
Okay, so the only option for me is to buy it, so I'm just gonna wait for the 4K.
Yeah, just wait for the 4K because it's coming out soon. I have like a special edition DVD that looks okay, but yeah, it's actually coming out in 4K in like I don't know a couple weeks or something like that. You'll see it on Amazon. But yeah, it's very soon.
Yeah, like it's kind of like basically like American Gladiators to the death, like essentially
American Gladiators meets wrestling, to the death.
I've definitely heard of it because the whole Jesse Ventura thing and all that stuff. But
it comes out November 1st. Yeah, the 4K comes out.
But I will say that the Mangler intrigues me because you got Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund in there. You have Ted Levine in there. So I mean, those are some pretty creepy dudes there. But I think I got to give it to the Running Man though. So yeah, it's the one I've seen. So Richie.
Yeah, I mean, based on like what I haven't seen Running Man yet, but hopefully it look like I might buy a 4K if it comes out here. I'm sure it will. The Running Man seems like my type of movie. So I'll go Running Man.
Yeah. It's on Paramount Plus right now. If you happen to have Paramount Plus, you can watch it. But what's that?
Was because we have Paramount Plus up here in Canada, and the way I find out what streaming is, I just go on the Apple TV app, and it didn't say it.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, maybe it's just here in America. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will safely say, Matt, if you buy the 4K, like that's a good blind buy. I trust if you're a wrestling fan, you will like The Running Man. I promise.
Yeah, I know. I'm a huge wrestling fan, so yeah, I'll definitely check it out. And so I'm going to based on this discussion, it's going to be The Running Man for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, The Running Man.
There was Running Man, the short story written while he was under that pseudonym, by the way. The
Bachman?
Yeah, Bachman. Yeah, it's a Bachman. Bachman joint.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Well, up next we have The Rage Carrie 2. There you go. I think it's 11/22/63. So.
Is that the James Rico thing? Is it?
Yeah.
It's a Hulu miniseries thing. Yeah.
So, is it me? Okay. So I've not seen The Rage Carrie 2, but I mean, I'd be interested. I mean, anything Carrie, like I'll watch it, even if it's bad. Like I would still watch it. But 11/22/63 is awesome. Like if you have not seen this, like despite what like anything you know about James Franco, like it is so good. Like basically he goes back in a time to just before the JFK assassination, and he's trying to piece everything together to try and prevent it from happening. And Gary Cooper's in it too. Like he's pretty good. And Josh Duhamel shows up as like a really angry kind of guy that runs a slaughterhouse at one point. But the love story between James Franco, forget the lead actress, but it's like really, really good because there's so many different scenarios because he goes back to this time over and over again. And like in the end, like I cried, like it was just like really, really good. So I would highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. So yeah, 11/22/63 gets my vote. So, but Richie?
Was the Rage Carrie 2 initially meant to be a Carrie sequel, or they just tacked that on? It feels like a title.
I think it was actually meant to be a character because it does she does have powers, and there's some kind of flashbacks to the original. There's some kind of connection flashback to the original.
It's Alan's in it as well too. There is a returning character, and it's the same school. So yeah, it is the true sequel.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I haven't watched it yet, but and I haven't watched either of these actually. But I've heard really good things about 11/22/63. So I'll go. That's where my vote will go. I think I'm intrigued by the premise, and so I'll go. That's where my vote will go.
Yeah, and if you can see by the poster, it's also produced by J.J. Abrams. So that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got some of his flair to it. So, but Matt, what do you think?
I'm just gonna vote for the Rage Care 2 because I've seen it. Like again, 25 years ago, but I've still seen it.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin?
Yeah, it's another weird thing. I kind of like the Rage Carry too. It's like kind of a guilty pleasure. It's kind of fun. It's a sort of a retread. It's like she gets picked on by different things. But I will say the finale, the third act, is great. Like it's like a house party, and she completely obliterates all the jocks and people who have been bullying her, like in the house instead of like the gym. It's got Zachary Ty Bryan, the kid from Home Improvement, who played a high schooler for 20 years, including Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
Jason London from Mallrats is in it. Eddie K. Thomas from American Pie. Like a lot of people you show up, like you recognize, like in this movie. Around that time. I don't know, man. Like I'm not gonna say it's great, but I kind of like it. So I'll go with the Rage. So we have a tie, and I know Richie earlier had a tiebreaker. So we'll go to Matt for the next tiebreaker. You can pick whatever you want.
You can switch your vote if you want.
No, I'm gonna stick with my vote. The Rage Carry 2.
All right.
All right.
But yeah,
people off.
But I definitely want to just like even for anyone that might be tuning in, check out 11/22/63. Like
I vote.
I've heard good things. I've heard good things, definitely. But yeah,
it's actually one that I plan to go back and rewatch. So
I've heard really good things. I've been meaning to get to it. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but we have Sometimes They Come Back. The original.
Yep.
Yeah, going up against Apt Pupil.
Yeah. All right, Richie.
Yeah, Richie.
Again, I forget Apt Pupil, the Stephen King thing. Is that like early? Is that early Matt Damon? Is it Matt Damon, or has it been? Is it?
No, that's
Brad Renfro and Joshua Jackson.
Brad Renfro. Yeah, Brad Renfro, Alan Rickman as well, isn't it? Right? I have seen this. I thought it was decent, but because I've seen it, I haven't seen Sometimes They Come Back, but I'm intrigued. I like that poster. I'll go Apt Pupil.
Yeah. Matt?
So I haven't seen either of these, and I do love the poster for Sometimes They Come Back, but I'm giving it to Apt Pupil because while I haven't seen it, I remember when it came out, and it was the very first time I was ever introduced to Sir Ian McKellen.
Oh, yeah.
I vote for that.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin?
Yeah, Ian McKellen's really good in Apt Pupil. It's the movie that people forget. It's the movie Bryan Singer made between Usual Suspects and X-Men.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a Bryan Singer movie, so people kind of forget that. But it's better. I mean, as much as we don't want to talk about Bryan Singer that much nowadays, it's the better movie. Like I said, I've seen Sometimes They Come Back, both of them. I just remember Greasers and Old Cars. That's all I remember. So I'll go with that. But Ian McKellen's great in this movie. Like,
he's a former Nazi or something like that.
Yeah, he's like an old Nazi, and he's like sitting in this neighborhood. Yeah, they kind of discover that, and there's some twists and turns. Yeah, it's good. It's not bad. It's underrated.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it has Ian McKellen, I'm a huge Ian McKellen fan because I met Sir Patrick Stewart, so now I got to meet his best friend, Ian McKellen. That's one of my like bucket list things. Like I got to meet him before he dies because he's getting old. So, but
Way to put
and
it.
yeah, the
Even before he dies because he's getting old. Yeah.
yeah, right. I mean, yeah. So,
I
but
wouldn't tell him that I told you. I had to meet you. I had to meet you before you die because you're getting old.
yeah, right. That's what I'll say to him
I
when
just
I
picture-
finally meet him.
Yeah.
I can rest.
Peacefully.
Yeah.
Now that Jordan has
I
met
met
me,
Jordan
I can
and-
die. He's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, right. But it's kind of got an interesting cast beyond that. David Schwimmer, Joshua Jackson, John Ottman, which is like I guess he does the music, I think.
John
So,
Ottman, yeah, he did.
but,
He actually does a lot of.
yeah, so I will vote for apt pupil. Yeah.
Yeah, John Ottman is one of Bryan Singer's go-tos. He actually also did the score for Superman Returns,
Oh yeah.
which is
Yeah,
an
and then
underrated.
And then some of the early X-Men stuff. Yeah. So, but yeah. So I guess it'll be apt pupil.
At people, yeah, you gotta.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So
yeah.
up next we got Needful Things up against
Chapter
It.
2.
It Chapter 2. All right. So, and
I
it's
tell you,
Matt
it's
first, right?
underrated for me.
Yeah.
Who starts?
What was
with
that, Matt?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking at Mark was texting in the chat, so my apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
he
of his
said
pop-ups.
he tried to go inside, but there's too many people inside. It's too loud, so he said it might be too much. So
Yeah.
yeah, and they closed the patio off at 8, so which is weird, but not the
Oh,
restaurant.
weird.
Very strange.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would close the outside before the inside. Wouldn't you move everybody to the outside if they wanted to hang around? Then you can clean
Yeah.
up?
Right.
Very strange.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
who knows?
But yeah, Matt's up first.
So yeah, this is a no-brainer for me. It's chapter 2. While I do really love it, I don't love it as much as the first one, obviously. Yeah, I really thought the casting of the older kids were perfect. I love the added element of Bill Hader's character where they made him in love with Eddie. I like that addition.
Oh yeah.
No, I thought it was a really good follow-up, really good continuation of the story. So it's at chapter 2.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like they got a lot of material to get to, yet I still felt it was too long, even though it kind of probably needed to be. It's like one of those weird dichotomies where it's like they got a lot of material to cover, but like the movie just kind of goes on and on and on. I wish they would have cut out about 20 or 30 minutes of it, because even the original is over 2 hours, which is fine, but it breezes by. But yeah, I liked more than I didn't like about It Chapter 2. I need to go back and revisit it. I haven't seen it since the theater. I'm due for a rewatch on it. I have seen Needful Things, but it was a long time ago. Yeah, I remember being solid cast, like a decent like afternoon kind of streaming watch. But I'll still go It Chapter 2.
Yeah. Well, holy pop-ups, Batman! Like on my screen, I'm getting like 2 people calling me on Messenger, and I got Marc's things popping up. Chris Scott sending me some more of his reviews to put up on the channel. So anyways, I have to clear all those out for a second. But
that's not what I thought. That's not what I thought you meant by pop-ups, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, I guess it's better than getting the Nazi or porn bots in the chat. That
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll take that over that any day.
Yeah, we get those in the chat. We have to block them every now and then.
Yeah, I don't miss those days.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I've never seen Needful Things. I have heard of it, but I mean, I'll watch anything that has Ed Harris in it. Like Ed Harris, literally Look, it has not made very many bad movies. I mean, maybe none. I don't know, but
well, let me scroll through his. Let me scroll through his filmography. I'll find one real quick.
I'm sure that he's probably done.
No, I agree, but yeah, I'll find one.
Some bad movies, but his performance is always great. I'll just say
that. He did a movie with Randy Orton of all people. That's pretty bad.
He's in Geostorm. There's a bad movie.
Okay, yeah, there you go. but yeah, It Chapter 2. I really like it. I prefer the first one a little more, but I mean this one's not far off. Like I think that the casting's great. I mean Bill Hader stole the show for me, and I think for most people. But I mean having James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain in there too. Yeah, it was great. So I'll vote for It Chapter 2.
He's in Radio. That's a bad movie.
No, Radio's freaking awesome. I love Radio. I don't know why people think that's a bad movie.
Radio's a bad movie. You don't go full retard.
I just a Gooding Jr. handicap movie.
Yeah. But anyways, Richie, what do you?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I haven't. Like, it's not that I haven't seen some of these movies. I never fucking heard of. I never fucking heard of Needful Things. Do movies get much promotion or something? Like, I don't understand.
It kind of came and went back. It was 93, same as like the Dark Half. Some of these movies just kind of came and went. It's just it was what it is. Yeah.
But yeah, look, I sort of have the same sort of issues as in Chapter 2 as Austin does. It is a bit too long. And it's kind of it drags a little bit, but it's still good. And it's got Richie, Bill Hader plays a comedian named Richie. Interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
Got that going. But it's a decent sequel. I think they do a really good job. I say that's my vote. I'll go definitely in Chapter 2.
Yeah. So in Chapter.
Well, I didn't for a while. There was rumors that he was going to put out like one big mash them together and make like one big movie, one kind of big ultimate cut of like all one movie. I remember there was rumor for a while and it just never like went anywhere. But
I know like a whole body affair kind of thing.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get it. I would be surprised.
Yeah. He wanted to do like a whole bloody affair Kill Bill thing. He wanted to make like one big movie that was like 4.5 or 5 hours long of like one big long movie and kind of re-edit it a little bit. Like I know he wanted to do that. So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
And kind of bounce back and forth, sort of like a Godfather 2 thing, like bounce back and forth between the timelines.
Oh yeah,
Really cool.
There you go. Yeah. Well, that'll be all of them. So we're
all right. Well, now we can fly through and get to the winner. Yeah.
Yeah, we can fly through. I mean, there's one movie we want to talk about Shawshank a little bit when we get to it.
We talked about Shawshank a lot on tournament though too. So to be fair,
I mean at that point, like, what can you say about Shawshank?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll just go quick and just do quick notes, and we'll get to a winner and see what comes out on top.
Yeah,
should be some better matchups here with some better movies. Yeah. So
like 10-15 seconds, something like that.
Right.
But yeah, we got Night Flyer versus Sleepwalkers. So who's first?
Me. I'll go Sleepwalkers.
Yeah, I think I'll go Sleepwalkers.
Okay.
Richie?
I'll go Sleepwalkers as well.
Yeah. Matt?
Clean sweep, Sleepwalkers.
Yeah. Sleepwalkers. All right. We got Dr. Sleep up against the Dead Zone. Ooh.
This might be one of the shortest episodes we've ever had of tournament fights. I like it.
It might, yeah.
Everybody stuck to it. I dig it. That's not a bad thing. Sometimes we go like 4 hours. We'll get to the 2.5 hour mark and we'll be done.
Yeah, right.
Well, when you have like a drastic measures of quality where you've had really, really good ones, some of the best classic movies, and you have really bad ones. It makes it easier to vote.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. But Jordan, I think I know where you're going on this one, but still, just in case.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dr. Sleep, hands down. So yeah.
All right, Richie.
Richie.
Not the most blow away of fights here, but I'm definitely gonna go Dr. Sleep because but I've heard Desmond's really good. So
yeah. Matt.
Dr.
Not seen either one? Oh yeah.
Not an indication of the quality of the movie. He's just talking about Sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll also go Dr. Sleep. Although if Dead Zone was up against like Sleepwalkers or something, I think he'd be going through.
Yeah.
I think that sound. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like that.
One of those is the victim of where it fell.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think that's a tough one. That's okay.
We got 1408 going up against Misery.
Ooh, this is tough. Ooh. Hey, Richie, it's a hard match. Go first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Like I said, 1408's great. Misery is just because I think out of the two, the more underrated one is 1408. I'll show it some love. 1408.
Yeah. Matt.
Misery.
Yeah.
Man, this is tough because I'm a big defender of 1408. I love that movie. But god damn it, Misery's good too. You know what? Just to keep it alive, I'm gonna go 1408.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like what I think about Misery is that it has some of the most amazing performances, especially Kathy Bates, and it has some like one of the best moments. But for me, I think as an overall movie from beginning to end, though, I think I prefer 1408 just a little more. So I'm gonna go 1408.
Upset.
Yeah.
It matches
Yeah.
two of my favorite. It matches two of my favorite subgenres together: One Crazy Night and One Location movies, all mashed
Oh,
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But up next we got Stand By Me going up against the Tommy Knockers.
Is anybody voting for Tommy Knockers?
No,
No.
All right, we'll skip it.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that'll be
come
easy.
on, votes.
Yeah, come on. We'll save some time. We'll come
Yeah.
back to Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chapter 1.
Chapter 1 going up against
Silver
Silver
Bullet.
Bullet.
Okay.
All right.
I mean,
who's first?
this might be an easy one too, but
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's voting for Silver Bullet, but
No.
nah, put it through.
all right. Yeah,
We'll
we'll
do some more time.
put it through. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Cujo going up against Mr. Harrigan's phone. Is anyone voting for Mr. Harrigan's
I feel like
phone?
you vote Cujo because Mr. Harrigan's phone is too new to.
Too
Yeah.
new. Yeah, nobody's
Yeah.
seen it.
It's
All
until
right.
today.
We'll save some time.
I would have watched it this morning, but I watched Hellraiser instead, which was awesome. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I want to see it. Yeah.
Dude, Hellraiser 2022 is
Yeah.
awesome. It's really
Really?
good.
Okay, that's good to hear. Because I
Awesome.
really like the first one, the original.
Really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing about like Australian, New Zealand releases and stuff like that because all the Hulu stuff, it's on Hulu, right? It was, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So all the Hulu stuff comes out on Disney Plus. So Hellraiser is on.
It's on
Same here.
Disney Plus.
Same
You
Yeah.
here in Canada. Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Disney
Yeah.
Plus.
Great.
Interesting.
can watch that. You can watch that in Hocus Pocus 2 right after.
I didn't mind.
But yeah, Hellraiser rules. The new one is so
Yeah.
good.
Like-
So good. Yes.
Well, you saw the lady's rant. There's like some lady on the news that went viral about Hocus Pocus 2 about
Oh, yeah,
how
that's
it's bringing
Like-
demons and like things in
Oh
there.
Oh my
You know, they're
God.
like kids' living room. It's like, get over it, lady. Yeah. But
Creep Show.
Creep Show up against the green.
Okay,
line.
we can talk about this one. Okay, so
This is a decent one.
all right, so
Yeah.
we skipped a bunch, so we're back to Matt because we didn't
Okay.
do an official one yet till Matt, so we'll go to Matt now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Green Mile on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Austin?
I'm going with my anthologies. I'm going Creep Show.
Yeah. And I'm also going Creep Show. Richie?
I mean, I'm going to send it to a tie, but I know. I mean, Creepshow's going to get through because.
Oh, it's on me. Yeah, I'm putting
I'll go Green Mile.
yeah.
Yeah.
I Green Mile. I think
Yeah.
it's appropriate we put together the horror movie. I think for this thing. You know?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Green Mile and any other list would have gone through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But we got the original It up against The Shining.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now we're getting some matchups.
Yeah,
All right.
it's on me. Yeah, I think any other match again, if it was in another bracket, I think Tim Curry would be going through. But The Shining's The Shining, man. Shining's all timer for me. So yeah, I'll go The Shining.
Well, this one's tough for me because for me, I think It has more rewatchability for me, but I do think Shining is the better movie. So I think that I do probably got to go with The Shining. I think, but yeah.
Quick aside: Terrifier 2 made $400,000 last night at the box office. That's pretty good.
Nice.
Did it release in many theater? Like many?
It released in a good chunk of theaters. Yeah, it was just one showing last night, and I think it's showing again tonight and tomorrow night, and that's it. So that's not bad. Not bad.
No, yeah,
Did you watch it?
Mm-hmm. I saw it last night. Yeah, it's bunkers.
How long was Jericho in it?
Jericho's in the post-credit scene.
Nice.
Oh.
Really? Okay.
because the credits come up, and I'm like, "Where the fuck was Jericho? Did I miss him?" And he's in the post-credit scene. So yeah.
Oh dang.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
Fair enough. Yeah, look, I mean, this is tough, but I think like, it'd be sacrilege not to put The Shining through to at least the final 8 or whatever. So it goes Shining.
Yeah. Matt?
Yeah, it was Shining.
Yeah. Shining it is.
yeah. Sorry, Tim Curry, man. I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. All right.
Slide over to those sides.
We got
Pet
Pet Cemetery, the original up against Thinner.
Okay,
All
Jordan.
right. I think this time I gotta go with Pet Cemetery, but I did really dig Thinner when I watched it today. So, but I'll go with Pet Cemetery. Richie.
Yeah, as much as I like Pet Cemetery, I'm going to go Thinner.
All right.
Matt?
Matt.
Pet Cemetery, just because it stayed with me longer.
Yeah. Austin.
You gotta watch out when across that world. I'll go with Pet Cemetery.
Yeah. Yeah. Pet Cemetery it is.
Yeah.
All right. We've got Cat's Eye going up against Gerald's Game.
Okay. Richie.
Probably as much as I like anthology, probably Gerald's Game here. I think it's a solid film. So yeah, Gerald's Game.
Yeah. Matt?
Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
I'm sticking
Austin?
with my anthologies and go Cat's Eye.
And I've never seen either one, but I honestly think Cat's Eye, from what I've heard now, I didn't vote for it in the first round because I didn't know anything about it, but I'm a big fan of those anthology movies, so I'll vote Cat's Eye.
And you get the
So-
tiebreaker.
And you get the tiebreaker. You're gonna stick with it?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen either one, so I'll just go with Cat's Eye.
I'm gonna be honest. There's no way I would have thought that was an anthology from this.
Yeah.
I thought it was a movie.
No, it's an anthology, and yeah, it's kind of an underrated one. It's not bad. So I mean,
Yeah.
Is it as lauded as like Creepshow or even Tales from the Dark Side? No, but it's a good streaming watch. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's another one I remember perusing the horror section and seeing that poster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that little girl Drew Barrymore?
Yeah, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
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 Because she's in Two Kings. This and Firestarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
Hey, it's on
Yeah,
Tubi and HBO Max. Check it out.
Yeah. Got Carrie going up against Dark Half.
Is anybody voting for Dark Half? Yeah.
No,
okay.
we're just putting. Yeah, we'll just put Carrie through.
That's fine.
Save
Yeah,
some
we'll stick
time.
that one.
Yeah. Tales from the Dark Side, another anthology up against Shawshank.
Ooh. All right, Matt.
Because it's the only one I've seen. I'm gonna go with Shawshank.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah. Fuck, I hate to vote against an anthology on this one, but it's Shawshank. So, yeah, Shawshank.
Yeah, like I didn't really love Tales from the Dark Side as much as I would have liked to. I did like it, but I didn't love it. So
Well, you're not the biggest fan of Shawshank either.
No, but like I do recognize though that it's one of the like all time great from that year. So I mean, or of all time maybe. So I'll vote for Shawshank.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, I'll go for Shawshank as well.
Yeah.
Shawshank should probably at least make it to the 8. Although I think it's going up against Carrie in the next round. That might be tricky. That could be tricky. We'll see.
Yeah, that might be hard.
Yeah, that'll be hard.
But we got Salem's Law up against Maximum Overdrive.
All right.
All right.
Me first. Ooh, Maximum Overdrive. Yay, let's go.
Yeah, I haven't seen either one, but the one that if you put both these in front of me, I'm gonna watch Maximum Overdrive.
It was on the list. You just didn't have time for it, right, Jordan? I sent you that.
Yeah,
I you to watch Maximum Overdrive. Yeah.
Well, literally, like if I would have had enough time to fit in one more movie, it would have been Maximum Overdrive. Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right.
But Richie.
Yeah, Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. Matt.
AC/DC.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell
AC/DC. Yeah. Let's
Who
go.
made who?
Well, not my
Who
favorite
made
band, but top 10
who?
for sure.
Who made who? Who made
Now, you guys know if AC/DC has a song called Maximum Overdrive?
No. They just do
Okay.
Who Made
It's
Who,
just-
which is kind of the title song of the movie. And but even the score is just like them doing chords, like Angus Young doing chords through the movie. So it's like AC/DC
nice.
kind of strung through it. So it's really cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we got 1922 up against the remake of Carrie. So,
Jordan.
Can you say me first?
Yeah.
Probably just it's the one that I've seen. I'll go with Carrie. Richie.
Yeah, same logic. The one I've seen, so I'll go Carrie.
Yeah. Matt.
Same here. One I've seen. Carrie.
Yep. Austin.
Yeah, same. I mean, I'm not over the moon about it, but I've seen it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty cool looking poster.
yeah, that poster's good.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but we got the Running Man up against the Rage Carrie 2.
All right. Richie.
I'll go The Running Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt.
Running Man.
Yeah. Austin.
I'm the only one who's seen both of these on the list, but I'll still say The Running Man.
Yeah. Yep. I've only seen the Running Man, so I'll vote for that.
All right.
So, Running Man it is.
Get a Bachman joint in there. There you go.
Yeah. We got At Pupil up against It Chapter 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Matt?
It chapter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick with that.
Austin.
I'll go with Pennywise on this one. Yep.
Yeah. I'll go with It Chapter 2.
Mhm.
Richie.
And I'll also go with It Chapter 2.
Yeah.
All
Would have
right.
been cool if we could have gotten all three It's like in the final four or something.
I actually could see a scenario where it is It versus It Chapter 2.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. All right.
All right.
that's
So
into
the
that.
winners of this next one will be in the Elite Eight. So
Yeah.
So we'll see what makes the poll, the Elite Eight here for the Stephen King.
Yeah, well, the poll over in the Showdown Friends and Family group. So
Yeah, our first poll we've done in a while since we've been on hiatus. So we'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All right. So we got
Sleepwalkers.
Sleepwalkers up against, I believe, Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah. All right. So who's first?
Me, I will go Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, I'll go Dr. Sleep. Richie?
Doctor Sleep.
Yeah. And
While I
Matt?
have seen Sleepwalkers that had a good run, Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Had a good run.
Doctor Sleep.
Cinderella's story is over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr.
Yep.
Sleep, Sleepwalkers. Yeah, Dr. Sleepwalkers.
Yeah, right.
That's
Sleepwalker,
that's
yeah.
who you go to sleep if you're sleepwalking. You go
Yes.
to Doctor Sleep.
Yes. You got a problem.
Yeah, that could be like a good one for like the Doug Benson build a title like Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleepwalkers.
Yeah. Yeah, but we got 1408 up against Stand By Me.
Okay, it's gonna be tricky. Yeah. All right. Jordan, you're up first.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, this one's tougher than I would have thought. I do recognize the significance of Stand By Me, but like I'm just a big 1408 fan, so and especially like a lot of my friends are also like when we're like thinking of the horror movies we want to watch as a group. A lot of times we throw in 1408, so I'll go with 1408.
Just realized I don't. Oh, I haven't owned the DVD of 1408. I might have to upgrade to Blu-ray. We'll see.
Yeah, but Richie.
Yeah, I think that's the same logic here. Yeah, I recognize that. I think on a lot of other panels, depending on what we've got, they'll go Stand By Me. But I think 1408 is still a bit underrated, so I'm going to go 1408.
Yeah, and
I'll gladly die on
Matt.
this island on my own. I will go Stand By Me.
Okay. Yeah, and I like Stand By Me, but yeah, I didn't grow up with it. I don't have that attachment to it, but I recognize it's good. But yeah, I'm a big defender of 1408. I think it's one of the best PG-13 horror movies ever made. I think it's pretty great. So
I'm gonna be honest, I have seen it once, and I still don't get it.
Yeah, just a lot of psychological.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not really a psychological horror guy. Like I'm more into like the scares and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm just a big defender. Yeah, I like that movie a lot. So.
It's one that because I've heard since I first watched it, I have heard a lot like people like you defenders and some of that. It is one that I think is worth another watch. It's just I don't know if I could actually fit through by myself because psychological stuff I just get easily sidetracked.
I got you.
Yeah.
I would have to watch it with a group.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, the book is actually really good because you get a lot of insight into what's going on in like I forget the name of the character that John Cusack plays, but you get a lot of insight
Mike or something. It's
like what's going on inside his head and everything. So like that kind of adds a lot of context. Yeah, it's pretty good. But we have It Chapter 1 up against
Cujo. Okay. Richie.
It's tough, but I'll go It Chapter 1.
Yeah.
No brainer. It
Matt?
Chapter 1.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a no-brainer for me because I love animal attack movies, but I'll still go It Chapter 1 here.
Yeah, and I think that I will also go It Chapter 1.
All right.
Get a clean sweep.
Okay.
All right. So then we have Creepshow.
The Shining.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Matt.
I'm gonna go Shining because I feel like I'm gonna get shit on if it doesn't get past through to the next round.
Yeah. I love my anthologies. I'll defend them all day. They just had some tough matchups here. I feel like an Elite Eight of Stephen King adaptations would not be complete without the correct Shining, the Kubrick Shining. I'll go with that. Sorry, Stephen King, but that movie is better than the miniseries.
Yeah. This one's really tough because I really love Creepshow. It's probably my favorite anthology horror movie. But I mean, yeah, The Shining is The Shining. It's just like that good. So I'll go with The Shining.
All right.
Richie?
Yeah, The Shining. I just put through.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Shining. Moving on. All right. So that's the first half of our lead eight. Let's see. Then we got Pet Cemetery, the original, going up against Cat's Eye. All right.
Okay.
So who's up first?
It is me first.
Okay.
I will go Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy. Pet Cemetery for me. Richie?
Yeah, Pet Cemetery.
Yeah. And
Yep.
Matt?
That's unfair.
Yeah. Pet Cemetery. Then we have Carrie.
I'm not gonna lie, for years I didn't realize cemetery was misspelled.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, I just
It always
didn't
threw
know
me
it.
off.
Yeah.
My mom was like, why is there an extra A in there or something? Yeah.
Well, with the
Yeah.
S at the beginning, yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but yeah.
With the S too, yeah. But
All right,
Carrie versus Josh.
Jordan, you're up first on this one. This one could be tricky. We'll see.
This one is tricky because like I'll just tell you that like I like recognize that both of these movies are great and I like some of the performances, but like I'm not like on the like of the idea that they're both all timers to me. But I see how other people do see them as that, so it makes it kind of interesting. But I think that I'll probably have to go with Shawshank still. So
Richie?
All right, here's my logic. We're in October. October's horror Halloween month. As much as Stephen King, as much as Shawshank might be the better movie, but if you're doing a sort of horror month, like Stephen King is mainly known for horror, but we're in a horror month, so I'll go Carrie.
yeah, sounds good. Matt.
I'm pretty sure my friend Taco would disown me if I did not vote for the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. Austin?
I'm in the same boat as Richie. I think this tournament, Stephen King is more known for horror, so I'm going to go with the horror movie, but it's a good one. I'm going to go with Carrie.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best ones. So Carrie, which puts
Yeah.
it to a tie. I believe it goes back down to Richie. We're back down the ladder.
I'm going to stick to my guns here and go Carrie.
Okay.
Ooh, all right. Carrie.
Well, I will make a note of that on the side when we get asked why Shawshank is not in the poll.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Carrie would be like Carrie versus Shawshank. I'll take it. Put it.
You want to go for more horror movies?
I want it to be known that I tried for Shawshank.
That's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I'll explain, but that's tournament fights sometimes. Sometimes we have to make.
I voted for it.
And those are always the best, right?
Oh, right.
Yep.
It throws in a wrench and you don't know what the hell's going to
I don't know
happen.
what that. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
It's a movie
Yep.
you think will be like, at least in the championship or something, and sometimes the bracket's the bracket. Yeah.
Yep. Wait until Austin's favorite movie championship. That's going to be.
Oh my
crazy.
God! It's
like,
going to be
there's
the
some
most
weird ones in there.
bonkers championship tournament ever. It's going to be like the Godfather.
I don't think I've ever ranked that many movies. Like I have my cemented top 5, but I don't think I've ever.
I'll tell you what could be like potential matchups in my championship of 32. Yeah. It could be like the Godfather versus Ernest Scared Stupid. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Or like Surf Ninjas versus something.
I'm gonna have
to.
I'm curious to see what my top 50 are for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's plenty of good websites out there that will help you rank them, like Letterboxd or Flickchart. There's some of those. So yeah.
But Overdrive versus Carrie.
Carrie, yeah.
All right, Richie.
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah. Matt.
Yeah, Maximum Overdrive. Although it would be funny to see Carrie versus Carrie.
I know, right?
Right.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I can't do it. I like Maximum Overdrive more, so Maximum Overdrive.
Well, the only one that I've seen is Carrie, but I think Maximum Overdrive just intrigues me more. Like, I gotta watch it soon, so it's because I'm just like that intrigued by it. So Maximum Overdrive.
So it's funny, people are going to be like, Maximum Overdrive made the poll, but not Shawshank Redemption? What the hell's wrong with that?
Right. Yeah.
I have a feeling that's going to happen, unfortunately. I'll have to explain.
There's tournament fights, and we have chaos.
As usual, I got some splaining to do in the comments.
Yeah, got some splaining to do, yeah. Yeah. But we got The Running Man up against It Chapter 2.
Oh, shit.
Some stuff. Who's first?
Richie, or I'm sorry, Matt.
Matt.
Chapter 2.
Yeah. Austin.
I'm going with the one I've seen way more times, The Running Man.
Yeah. I think I gotta go with It Chapter 2, I think. Yeah.
All right, Richie.
So I mean, if it's a tie, it goes back to Jordan. He'll probably get it too. So
Yeah.
No, it
I'll
actually
just
goes to me.
Goes to Matt.
okay.
Goes to
Everybody-
Matt. Yeah.
Oh, I'll go to you. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'll go Running Man and see what you do.
Okay.
Ooh, all right.
Matt,
Yeah,
up to you. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Running Man can run the hell out of here.
Oh, yeah. All right. It chapter 2.
All right, fair enough. If y'all, to be fair, I think if y'all have seen Running Man, it might be a tougher decision.
Which is exactly that is the main reason I have seen it. Chapter 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. Well, that'll do it. We have our Elite 8. So,
Which one did I
Right.
miss? I missed one somewhere.
did you get Pet Cemetery?
Pet Cemetery. That's the one I missed. Yeah, Pet Cemetery. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
I missed
Yeah.
one. All right.
Yeah.
Pet Cemetery.
All right. So now we just got to get down to a winner here. So,
All right. So Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep.
And you could make the bracket smaller.
Yeah. We could maybe. Yeah.
It's all good.
But we got Dr. Sleep versus 1408.
1408. Okay, I'm up first. You know what? I'm gonna go 1408.
Ooh. I just had such a great time when I saw Dr. Sleep for the first time. Like it's one that I could watch over and over again. So Dr. Sleep. Richie?
I think they're both very similar in quality. It's both like very good psychological movies. So it's really hard. Actually. I rate them both the same, but I'll go Dr. Sleep.
Yeah. Matt?
I'm gonna go 1408 just because it's the only one I've seen.
Oh yeah. All right. We have a tie, and I think it's Austin.
It goes to me. Maybe an upset. I'm taking 1408.
Ooh.
Then Dr. Sleep.
All right. Yeah.
I really like that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought I'd make it this far, but yeah.
Hey, Dr. Sleep's in the poll. We can defend it there and go for it to your heart's content.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think it was deserving of the poll. It's a very good Mike Flanagan movie. He's awesome.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it was Mike Flanagan versus Mike Flanagan. I just realized.
yeah.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Mike Flanagan did 1408. Or was that previously, you mean?
Well, 1408 went through, didn't it? Yeah, and you said it's a really good Mike Flanagan movie. So I thought, yeah, anyway.
Oh, no. I meant like Dr. Sleep is a good Mike Flanagan movie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
1408 is Mikhail Hofstrom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We got It Chapter 1 versus The Shining.
Oh.
So-
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, this might be the toughest match of the night so far. This could be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to Jordan first on this one.
Oh man, yeah, this one is tough, but I think, oh man, yeah, this might be the toughest one, but I think I'll go with It Chapter 1, but I don't feel that confident in that decision, but I'll vote for that.
Richie.
I'll also go. I'll go The Shining, but I don't feel confident in that decision.
Yeah, all right. Well, Matt.
Well, I got to go with my favorite horror movie.
Yeah.
Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Austin.
I'm gonna go with The Shining and tie it up. So
Ooh,
it goes to Jordan. Yeah.
Oh man, you got to give me the tiebreaker. Yeah. I think I got to go with It. I think so.
All right.
It over The Shining, just because I don't find myself going back as many times to The Shining as I do with It. I go back.
Like for me, I've stopped and started it like 5 times.
Yeah.
Started and stopped it 5 times.
No, fair enough. It Chapter 1 is a very watchable movie. It's a very breezy watchable movie. Like it flies by. It's great.
But funny enough though, like The Shining's actually my like Halloween night watch. Like I'll watch that, and then every year I've been watching one more Nightmare on Elm Street, slowly like watching them all the way through.
Dream Warriors, the win, baby.
Dream Warriors, baby.
1 year at a time. Yeah. So I've seen about 4 of them. So
Freddy's dead. No.
Yeah.
But Dream Warriors.
I don't mind Dream Master. Of course, I like the first one and New Nightmare.
Yes,
I've seen New Nightmare and Dream Warriors, not Dream Master. I haven't yet. But.
Dream Master's 4th one's good too. It's a bonkers Rennie Harlan movie. It's good.
Yeah. It's really Rennie Harlan too. It's like it's his first North American movie or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Everybody starts with horror, man. Everybody starts with horror.
Yeah.
All right, Pet Cemetery and Carrie. All right, two classic King books. So yeah. Mm-hmm. By the way, just to give you a little more time, Richie, the Pet Cemetery new audiobook that has Dexter, Michael C. Hall reading it is really good. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
we
really
did
good.
that.
Yeah, really good audible Michael C. Hall thing. So yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to give Richie an extra 10 seconds so you can think about it.
Yeah.
Forget about
Probably,
it.
as much as that little tidbit of information is cool, I'm going to go with Carrie.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Matt.
I'm gonna go Pet Cemetery.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, these are both good. I'll give the slight edge to Carrie, but it's close.
Yeah, trying to find that like back cover of the Pet Cemetery that has that like creepy image.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of nightmare,
Yeah, all right. But I think I'm gonna give it to Pet Cemetery. That I really dig the original. So
So we have a tie, and it goes down to Richie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Carrie.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I don't know if this is the exact image, but this is the face he's making. Is it that one?
yes.
He's like,
Oh. Yeah.
He's kind of like,
Yeah.
and it's great because Fred Gwynne's just like, little Gage, come on out now. Come on, little Gage.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We got Maximum Overdrive still hanging in there.
It chapter 2.
It chapter 2.
Excuse me. Matt first.
It chapter 2 because I want to see it versus it chapter 2.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that'd be cool. But Austin.
Maximum Overdrive.
I think at this point I got to go with the one I've seen. It chapter 2. Richie.
I mean, it intrigued me too much, so I'll go to chapter 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
It
enough.
chapter 2.
But I'm surprisingly happy that Maximum Overdrive made the poll. I'll vote for it.
Yeah. Right.
That movie's
All right. Well,
really fun.
we have a final four. So. Let's see
All
what's
right.
gonna be,
So I'm up first, and it's 1408 versus It Chapter 1.
Yeah.
So, man, this might be blasphemy. I'm gonna go 1408.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just remembered that theater experience. Like was just one of the like best in recent memory. So I got to go with It Chapter 1.
All right, Richie.
Richie.
Yeah, I'm glad 1408 made this far. It's a really good movie that needs more attention, but I'm going to go It Chapter 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with it chapter 1 because I agree that theater experience is probably the most electric audience I've ever been part of.
Yeah. Same.
No, when I saw it,
really
I saw it in an IMAX theater and it was packed. And like I said, the sound was like cranked up in an IMAX theater, it was a big screen, and I could tell the crowd was like really into it. They were screaming, they were, but like, in the good way, where it's like people into the movie, oh shit, God, every time it almost like you see Pennywise in the background, oh shit,
It's more equivalent of watching a Marvel movie back in the day.
Right,
Yeah, right.
There was hype around that movie, yeah.
No, I mean, but sometimes a cinema experience can kind of like like color your judgment of the movie, and you realize afterwards, like, that wasn't that great. But yeah, it's like when I had when I watched went to the premiere of Star Wars, the Force Awakens. It was like, oh my god, that was so great because the theater experience was amazing. Then you rewatch it, I'm like, oh, that movie's okay.
That's one of my favorite Star Wars movies, but I'm in the minority.
Yeah. Well, surprisingly enough, like the two biggest horror movies was for me, the theaters were just packed and more like electrifying. Where it and then the first Conjuring movie, like for whatever reason, like the theater was just packed. But for it, I expected it. For the Conjuring, I was surprised. I'm like, wow, this theater's like sold out, and everyone's really into this. I totally didn't expect that.
Well, I think It Chapter 1 is still the highest grossing R-rated movie so far. It's still number one. Because It Chapter 1 almost made $1 billion, like just shy of $1 billion. It made a lot of money.
I live in a small town in Canada, and we even had people tying red balloons here to grates.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and that and It Chapter 2 both came out around my birthday.
Oh, nice. It's a great birthday watch, right?
Oh, yeah.
The balloons, right? Get celebrated some balloons.
I went and saw It Chapter 2 twice that weekend.
Yeah,
nice.
I think I did. I think I did as well. Yeah. I just want to say It Chapter 2 made 473 million worldwide. It Chapter 1, I believe, was a lot more than that. Yeah. $700 million worldwide. I think it's still one of the highest grossing R-rated movies, if not the highest grossing R-rated movie.
Wow.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if Deadpool's beat it.
Maybe I'd have to fact check.
Yeah. Or maybe Logan. I don't know. Like one of those.
Maybe.
Yeah. But
it might be the highest grossing horror movie of all time, actually, though.
Yeah.
I could
There
see
you
that.
go. I'd believe that. Yeah. But we got Carrie versus It Chapter 2. So what's it gonna be? And who's up first?
You, Jordan, up first.
Yeah, like I mean, I think Carrie like has like hands down like some of the most incredible performances, but as an overall movie, I prefer It Chapter 2. So I'll go with that. But Richie,
I think I know where this is going. I hope I know where this is going, because yeah. But I'll just so it's not clean. I'll go Carrie.
Yeah, sounds good. Matt,
I'm heading back to Derry for this one.
yep. And Austin,
I'm gonna go with Carrie.
ooh. So who's got the tiebreaker?
I think Matt has the tiebreaker.
Oh,
Bring
All
it
right.
on, baby! It versus It Chapter 2.
yeah. It versus It Chapter 2. All right.
There we go. All
There we
right.
go.
I got my wish.
All the marbles. All right.
The dogs are happy about it, Richie.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I wouldn't have been upset if Carrie made it through either. I wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that Carrie didn't go through. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not my
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But who's up first here?
All right, so Richie's up first for It
Okay.
Chapter 1 versus It Chapter 2.
Which do you
So
prefer?
let's settle the argument once and for all. Which is the better half?
I mean, yeah, like I think the one that's slightly better is It Chapter 1. So I'll get It Chapter 1.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a long time before it gets to thrown as my favorite horror movie. It Chapter 1.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I'm the same. Chapter 1 I've watched 5 or 6 times. Chapter 2 I've only seen twice. So yeah, I'll go to Chapter 1.
Yeah, I think I got to go with It Chapter 1, but I will say, like, Bill Hader's performance, I think, steals it, like, as the best performance from, like, either movie, I think. So, but I'm still going to go with It Chapter 1.
All right, well, It Chapter 1 takes
There
it
we
all.
go.
There you go.
All right. We have
Yay.
a grand champion. There,
So it's funny. We
there we
always
go.
have like really close matchups, and then the championship always seems to be like a clean sweep or like overwhelming.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's always kind of funny
It
like that. But
Going
yeah,
into this one, we knew who was going to win.
There
It
it
was
is.
going to win. So,
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely.
I meant into this final.
Oh yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, I coming into this, I thought the definitely the heavy favorites were going to be The Shining, It Chapter 1. I thought Doctor Sleep would be a favorite because that's kind of underrated. And if I had to predict, even stuff like Misery had a rough run, but I thought that could have been a heavy favorite in a different bracket as well. So
Yeah, I thought it would have for sure would have been like the obvious.
yeah,
one.
sure.
'Cause I mean,
Yeah, like
it's-
Misery, I thought would have made further. Even Stand By Me, I thought would have gone a
Yeah,
little
Stand
further.
By Me, Shawshank, obviously, I thought was a heavy favorite coming
Yeah.
in. So.
Yeah.
like if we were doing like just great
Okay.
movies, Shawshank.
Yeah.
Well, if we're doing like Malcolm Show, like ranking the top 12, like those would all
Yeah.
be 12,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Easy.
Big
Which I
tournament.
still feel like a shithead for falling asleep when I was supposed to be on the episode about my favorite actor, Stallone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the couch and I just totally missed it.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
Might be what happened to Charlie Perez. We were supposed to have this guy that's like a big horror fan, Charlie Perez, and I don't know what happened to him.
That's okay. Well,
Didn't respond.
see if he wants to jump on from another episode. That's all right. We had a good panel tonight. I was glad we got Marc. Marc's awesome.
It's all good. Yeah, like no worries.
He loves horror. We'll get him on again. And I'm always happy to talk horror in October. So yeah, I've had a good couple of days. I watched Hellraiser. I saw Terrifier 2 in the theater. I did a double feature the other day of Smile and Barbarian and caught up. Those were both good. So I've seen a lot of good horror the last couple of days, this whole week. So really great stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll have to watch Hellraiser like this weekend probably.
Hellraiser rules. Everybody they're watching.
I wasn't sure of it, but here I'm hearing
Thumbs
such-
up.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. It's great.
Yeah, that
Nice.
first movie, the original, is still one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the second one. I like Hellraiser 2 a lot. I think it's my favorite over the original. So, I think they're great. But this is right up there with those two originals. I think it's great. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think Hellraiser, since it's not showing in theaters, unfortunately.
That movie, again, that and Prey should be in fucking theaters.
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
make
they should be
me
in
like,
theaters.
Prey was so good.
but I mean,
Yeah.
like, those movies would each, like, I'm not saying either one of them would
Make
like
a
blow
ton
up
of
the
money.
box office, but they could make some money, man. Like people would go see this
Yeah.
Hellraiser movie, people would go see Prey.
Oh
They could
yeah.
at least make 30-40 million bucks easy, I think.
But at least,
Yeah.
here's a good thing though. At least now we know that they can at least make a good Predator movie again. So I mean, now we could
Yep.
potentially get a good Predator movie in theaters again.
Yeah, right. All right.
Mhm.
Well, for Hellraiser though, like I'm gonna watch it on my 70-inch 4K that
Looks good.
and like dim all the lights, block out everything, try and create the closest theater experience. You know.
Yeah, it's
So-
really, really good. If
so-
you're not hooked in by the opening sequence in the mansion, I would be surprised. It's really good.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Nice.
I won't spoil anything. One of the best opening sequences I've seen in a while.
Nice.
Really good.
Nice.
Yeah, but great
Well, we
movie.
came in record time for a tournament fight, so that's good.
Yeah, I don't know about record time. Some of our early ones ended at about 2:15 or so, like pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of our quicker ones we've had in a minute. So thank you
Mhm.
everybody for being efficient in your thoughts, and I appreciate it. I guess it helps when there's a lot of movies that people haven't seen, but you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is. what it
True.
is.
We've gone as long as 5 hours on this show before.
We've gone 5-hour tournament fights before, yeah. On
Yeah, it's
the
crazy.
crazy
I'm
topics.
starting
we
to
go
be
on
kitchen
tournaments.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mostly when we have people who like to talk a lot, like we had Adam Witt on. That was one of our 5 hours.
Oh, Adam
Anytime we
Witt
have-
is so funny.
Yeah. Anytime we have like Adam Witt and Paul Preston, and we go off on a lot of tangents and fun, just being
Oh
silly.
yeah, no, I've been.
But they're
on-
great to have, though. We love having them.
But we love him. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. but yeah, so I guess we'll just do some plugs. If you have anything that you want to shout out, so we'll start with Richie. Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me obviously on here and Ranker. I think you sent me a list of the things coming up. I think I almost signed up for fucking all of them. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
on
for
here a
like the
lot.
next month. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be on here a lot. So yeah, check it out there. Also check me out. I do. I started doing a podcast just on YouTube at the moment with my friend Robert, just talking about Tubi movies. Think we've had 2 episodes drop. And our 3rd episode is going to be a movie called The Psychedelic Priest. Very odd movie. It's a very bizarre movie. But we've also recorded Titanic 2, and the next movie we're going to record is a movie called The Sand about a killer.
Oh,
beach.
I was just gonna tell you about. You should watch The Sand, Richie. The Sand is bonkers. It's nuts. It's the floor is lava with sand on a beach. It's crazy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
And I guess what also intrigued me is one of the cast members is a guy named Dean Geyer, who is known in Australia because he won. He came 3rd in Australian Idol one year. So I didn't realize he was in this movie. But that's weird. But yeah, so that's gonna that'll be fun. Other than that, actually check me out on. I'm also on. Combat Wrestling Trivia. A guy named Chris Cass runs that. I just recorded a match before it went on here. Went pretty well. So I'm in the tournament at the moment. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, I mean, I'd also, if you get time, I'd also recommend Matt to hit them up. I think you're pretty great. If you do the wrestling, you'd be pretty good at that. That should be fun. Other than that, I'm around all other trivia spaces and stuff.
Yeah, sounds good. And Matt, where can we find you?
You can find me on personal Instagram at soda_the_saxman. Northern Entertainment Group tomorrow morning. It is our Northern Countdown show, our top 5 that Jordan used to be on a long time ago, back under another name on another channel. But tomorrow, in honor of the Schmodown closing, we're doing our top 5 favorite Schmodown matches.
Okay. Nice.
And then I got nothing else coming up. But also, how the hell do I get on the wrestling podcast on this channel?
Everyone
You guys to talk to.
Everyone has their thing that they're really passionate about. My friend 50, it's Doctor Who. Me, it's wrestling.
So about that, so Jacob Barber is technically the host and founder of the Lonely Marks podcast, our wrestling podcast on this channel. It may be up in the air right now because Jacob is taking a break from long form kind of podcasting. He's just doing some trivia right now. Although me and Richie and Jordan Owens, who are doing it, might continue it in some form, at least every now and then around the times of the pay-per-views and stuff.
Nice.
So we may have a rotating fourth person. It could be you or Steve Mesa or some of the other wrestlers.
Yeah, if that is the case, let me know. After tonight, I'm not free again till December, but I will gladly be on to talk that.
Well, I mean, maybe when it comes to like Royal Rumble time in January or something, maybe we'll do that. You know,
For sure.
We do these fantasy draft too. Sometimes these fantasy cards of like where we put together our fantasy, like for the big ones, like a Royal Rumble card, for instance, where you come up with like a main event that was a main event in the past. You pick one, but once somebody's like involved in something, you can't use them again. So like you pick another match from another year, another match from another year, and things like that. It's fun. We do those things. We do prediction shows, review shows. So we'll continue it in some fashion. Around at least the big pay-per-views and some of the bigger stuff. Like we're not going to do it like week to week probably, but maybe we'll continue in some fashion.
Yeah, no, but
I'd say maybe like the one that we'd probably do something for. Like November's a big month, like Full Gear and Survivor Series. We'll probably do something for that.
Yeah, I'm sure War Games. What's your all-time War Games matchup?
Yeah, we could talk about War Games. Past War Games matches.
We can talk about War Games. Yeah,
like my favorite War Games match is still Dangerous Alliance versus Sting Squadron.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, so there is that. Yeah, like we can. We'll definitely do like a wrestling thing for like podcast for like the big ones. Occasionally, me and Jordan last week just got on and talked about Dynamite, just on his channel. So like the occasion, if I have a lot to say about a particular Dynamite episode, I'll jump on. But
like normally tonight on Friday nights I have a wrestling show, but my co-host he's actually at the was at the Impact pay-per-view.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really? I'm watching it after this.
Send me a picture of him and his buddy Hueck and Mickey James. I was like, you bastard.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm watching it after this.
Well, also one of the other things we want to do too is that probably like whenever the next big wrestling event is, or like sometime before the end of the year, we also have a Patreon, and so we want to do a best wrestling intro songs, and on the Patreon we can actually play all the music without being copyrighted. So
we might do like a tournament fight of like 64 of the greatest like wrestling intro songs and like play a little bit of those. Yeah.
Shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. We could do that.
Sting, baby.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we can put together we can play at least 10-15 seconds of each one. Kind of get them hyped up before we vote, and that'd be fun. So we can do that on Patreon without getting flagged. So that's good.
Isaac Yanker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he wears pile driver. There you go.
Yeah. Well, Austin,
so I mean, I'm back into the movie Battleground tournament as a last-minute replacement for Evan DeGraff. So we taped our match. I won't give away any results, but that'll be up soon. It was me versus Shannon Briggs, so you can see if I redeem myself from the other last chance tournament I was in early in the year and move on. So I'm back in there. You can catch me over on TMG Entertainment doing that. Let's see what else I got. I'll be doing a watch along next week, Wednesday night, on Michael Wolfman's channel, the guy who was kind of our backup for tonight. We're all doing a Halloween Kills drink along. So we're gonna watch the movie and we're gonna take a drink, like not a shot, but like a sip of beer or something, because we'd be dead.
Evil dies tonight or something.
Every time they say Evil dies tonight or he kills somebody in that movie, we're gonna take a sip of beer. So we're gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Because boy, when they get to the Halloween or the hospital sequence where they're all chanting it over and over again,
it's like Batman 66. Who hurt you?
Yeah. So we'll be doing that Wednesday night. So around 10 or 10:30, it'll be a late night show, but that's gonna be fun. So if you want to see us get plastered watching Halloween Kills, you can do that. And then I'll be co-hosting with Jacob Barber the Trivia Triathlon this Monday night at 10:30.
Because I try to compete. I reached out to Jacob about maybe doing that.
So he gives priority to anybody who hasn't played yet. So anybody who signs up and hasn't played yet will probably be on first before he gets repeat people.
Yeah.
So anybody out there who has not played yet in the Trivia Triathlon, but it'll be another horror edition. I wrote all fresh horror questions for another new one, and I'll be co-hosting with them, reading the questions. So if you want to jump onto that, please sign up. It'll be great. So another horror edition of Trivia Triathlon will be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Nice. Well. And you can find us all over the social media at Movie Hero 2121 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us in the Schmodown Friends and Family group with the poll from the Elite 8 from the night. That'll be up in the next day or two. You can watch for that. And
if I remember to do it the next day, I'll do
Yeah,
it. Otherwise, I usually remember the day after. So at some point this weekend, I'll remember to. Yeah.
And also, if anyone would like to sign up for any future episodes, I posted the new schedule in the Schmodown Friends and Family group, and also on our Twitter. I think it's over there too, so you can see it there. So you can just DM me, or you can comment if there's any episodes that you like that works for your schedule. Just let me know, and then also I'll shout out Chris Scott's. He's been doing some kind of short form reviews on like all different kinds of things. Every time he watches like a series, it's just called Chris Reviews. Or if he watches like a movie, or if he goes out in the community and he goes to like experience something cool, he'll kind of like showcase that. So he sent me about like 30 or 40 of those that like I'm way behind on uploading those because I was out of town. So those will start popping up. I'm pretty busy this weekend. I got 2 14-hour days in a row in the next 2 days, but then after that I should be a little more free to start uploading some of those. So I'm going to try my best, but I just got to catch up from work after being out of town for 3 weeks and being down in Florida and surviving a hurricane. All that was crazy. But and then I also have a Patreon that I mentioned already. That's patreon.com/movie hero. And if you want to just support the channel, I want to be just continue to keep bringing you guys bigger and better content. I want to do more travel stuff because I literally documented our whole entire trip, which that trip probably has a good 2 weeks more like worth of like daily things I'm going to be uploading, trying to play catch up with that. So you can find the videos on the YouTube channel here, and then all the pictures will be on my Facebook, my own personal Facebook. There'll be all kinds of pictures on there too, and also on the Patreon we I do exclusive things like exclusive chances to be on certain episodes. There's some chances to build your own episodes. You pick the date and the time and the topic and whoever you want to be on. There's we're doing some giveaways. I have some one sheet movie posters from my time working in the movie theater that I got a collection about 50 or 60 of them. So I want to start giving some of those away. And yeah, so and then also there's an extended schedule. So if you want to have a look, maybe even into next year sometime, and be one of the first ones to sign up before the episodes fill up, because sometimes they do fill up fast, then you can find it there. So you can just sign up at patreon.com/movie hero. And then just a little extended or like quick little preview of what we have coming up in the next couple weeks. We are going to be doing this Tuesday. We have Austin versus Andres Gallego. They're going to be going head to head in a tournament fights versus of their favorite horror movies of all time. So we're keeping it horror related through the month of October, and so they're going to have their top 32 going head to head. So we got that one coming up. We have Steve Mace's finally doing his top 64. So we'll be having that one coming up. We're also been doing some drafts. We have 10 tentatively scheduled for October 17th, a stand-up comedy draft that actually Richie's going to be a part of, and then we're going to have Jordan Owens on there. We're going to draft our favorite stand-up comedians of all time, so that should be fun. That'll be part of our podcast league now. And then we also have best movie villains of all time. We have a tournament fights for zombies and infected people. We also have best monster movies, and then vampires versus werewolves versus mummy movies. So yeah, that's just a little preview of what's coming up in the next few weeks. So yeah, and I think that will do it for us tonight. So but thanks again, guys, for joining us for the episode and for making it so quick. We got through it pretty quickly. So yeah, I appreciate that. So yeah, but that'll do it. So for Richie, for Matt, for Austin, for Marc Edward Hueck, I've been Jordan, the Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.